Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teen accounts.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Jimenez runs. Churio grounds one through. Base hit center field. Jimenez will be at third. Tying run enticingly close for Venezuela. Acuna grounds one left side. Antonacci with the backhand. Throws it across late. Tied at 2. On 2-0, Michael Garcia lines the ball to left field. A base hit. Jackson Churio comes home. Throw to third, timing play, everybody's safe. Venezuela's taken the lead. Acuna almost halfway down the line. There goes Garcia from first. It's sliced to left center field. Jacob Marcy won't get there. The hit parade continues, and so does the fiesta for Venezuela in Miami. Venezuela to the championship game for the first time. Mission accomplished. Team Venezuela will play the United States for the gold medal.
Live from New York. It's a show that's welcoming you back.
What do you mean?
Not from yet another vacation.
We're gonna fight.
To Team USA.
Well,
you had a lot of
dalliances.
dalliances.
Yeah, but
sure.
so here's the thing.
You're back on. Brew and I never left.
We never left.
We're here.
Here's the thing. I don't know if you were listening
Nice
to the
This
great
is a
Joe
really
Davis
sharp hat.
there. I mean, you know, Michael Garcia.
Yeah, Royal.
For Venezuela. Captain
Great, like
Salvi
Paul Skeens
Perez for Venezuela. One of their best is a Royal. I'm kind of split even tonight. And you know I do like an underdog.
You're split?
I do like an underdog.
You gotta pull for Team USA.
I mean,
These are sweet.
I like the hat.
The hat is great.
I like the hat. And we're going to
I
have...
feel like fielding a ground.
And I'm...
Putting this on just makes me want to...
Were you good at fielding grounders?
Yes.
What position did you play?
Second.
I mean, over my whole little young career, I played all types of positions.
Yeah.
Third base, shortstop.
What was your
In high school,
favorite?
I played outfield. Center field.
Okay.
Center field.
Excellent. A-Rod joining the show in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Played shortstop.
And I'm a
also
little...
some third.
I have to say something.
Some DH.
I'm a little upset with A-Rod.
What?
A-Rod didn't do it. Jeter did it.
Well, I expected A-Rod, you know, it's a good lesson for everyone. If you hear something that you think's unjust or unfair, speak up.
Jeter low-key dissed.
He didn't low-key. It wasn't low-key. It was an outright diss.
No, it wasn't. He was chatting
we'll talk
about
with A-Rod.
the environment in Miami. He's like, does this remind you of Kansas City?
We'll talk
he said
with
not at all.
The fact is, was he right? Yes. So
It does give me a
truth.
great opportunity to use my Kansas City jokes again in the next block. First hour, first things first. Today, Jaylen Waddle headed to Denver. What does this mean for Bo Nix? What does it mean for Mahomes? What does it mean for Justin Herbert? What does this mean for Malik Willis? And Josh Allen? And Drake May.
They're making it hard.
Meanwhile, Luka and the Lakers win yet again. Hold on, are they a defensive team now?
Somebody said Rockets by 5, right? It wasn't you, bro.
I meant
it wasn't me. It was you.
You said Rockets by 5?
Yeah.
Why?
Classic 2.
What?
I meant the next game.
Oh, okay.
I meant tomorrow.
Oh, gotcha.
This was a
Did
warm-up.
you know your
game.
boy was sitting out?
No.
Shingun, the
If Shingun
librarian?
played, the game's different.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, if they, had a point guard once Fred VanVleet ripped his ACL, I felt like that was pretty obvious.
that's the
And finally, a special edition of King of the Hill, featuring a Mad Joker. I like we broke that out.
Yeah.
Jokic is like, I better be on the top.
Okay, Chris Broussard, Kevin Wildes, Nick Wright. A little bit of chicanery on the Hill from me.
Yeah, there is.
I told you earlier in the makeup room, it won't work.
Also,
You misplayed your hand.
I have laid down the gauntlet.
You did the
for
same thing.
I know
3 years.
But can I say something?
Yeah.
It won't work.
Even by our standards, it being 3:05 and the Open is still going is a bit.
We had a
much.
nice side in.
It's a bit much.
I got the hats.
Some shows are already in their first commercial.
I'm looking
break.
like an old
We
Roman
haven't
Anthony
even
right now.
Started yet.
Look at me. I'm like Pete Crow Armstrong. We start in Denver. New home of Jaylen Waddle. Broncos get Waddle and a fourth, pick number 111. Miami receives Denver's first-round pick, number 30. 94 and 130 overall. Here's Waddle at his peak. This is peak Jaylen Waddle, 22-23, when he's going for 16 yards per reception, had 1,900-yard games and 12 touchdowns. Do you like this move for Denver?
I love it. So I think people think that I basically never like trading picks for players, but it's not the.
Yeah, I was surprised you said you loved it.
So I try to evaluate everything given the team's circumstance and what their timelines are. So Chiefs, Rams, Trent McDuffie trade. I loved that for both teams because I feel like they are not on different timelines. They're both trying to compete this year, but the Rams have a very short timeline and the Chiefs have a longer one. I wouldn't have liked Max Crosby to the Ravens. I would have thought that would have been too aggressive when you have a Lamar Jackson who should be excellent, you would hope, for at least the next 3, if not 5 years. If you're Denver and your free agency approach was keep everyone, add no one, which is what they did. They were the only team that had not added a single outside free agent, and I guess still hadn't because this isn't a free agent. And you have a quarterback you believe in, whether we think that's smart or not. Sean Payton clearly believes in him, and he's had a very good first 2 years. And he's not making any money, and you were the number 1 seed, and you needed a difference maker at skill position. I felt running back, tight end, or receiver. They needed some type of threat. Adding a 27-year-old on a good contract who has been healthy in his career, I think he has 6 career games missed, for basically the 30th pick and a third, because you're swapping fourths, that makes sense to me. That is not over-aggressive, and it makes even more sense, Brew, when I think he's better than any of the free agent receivers, and they all cost more money. Now, you wouldn't have had to give up the first-round pick, but the 30th pick is not the same as giving up the 13th pick or a great first-round pick. So I think this is very smart for Denver. I applaud this move. I think this is a move of a well-run team.
I love it, too. I think Jaylen Waddle is clearly a number 1 receiver. He wasn't as good as Tyreek Hill. Okay, Hill's a Hall of Famer, but he is a number 1 receiver. I think that moves Courtland Sutton, who ironically has made 2 Pro Bowls. Waddle hasn't made any, but it moves Sutton to a number 2. I think he's a very nice number 2. Waddle, deep threat, can get you yards after the catch. He makes Bo Nix better. You're right, Nix hasn't really had a true playmaker at any position. And I think he makes their run game better, And so last year was middle of the pack. I think with real threats outside, the run game will get better. Nick, I think right now, with the Chargers and the health, we're assuming they get their 2 tackles back. Mike McDaniel make a difference. And then what Denver's done with just this move, I think right now the Chiefs are a definitive third in that division right now. Now, we'll see how the draft goes for them and all, Mahomes getting back and stuff. But right now, those two, Denver obviously had a great year. Their defense, even if it's not quite as good, is probably going to be strong.
Oh, yeah.
And then now the offense, which really was your problem, and you bring in a Jaylen Waddle, I think this is big for the Broncos.
So for whatever it's worth, and this isn't gospel, but it's just supposed to be a neutral party, Vegas still has Denver as a definitive third in the division.
Really?
Yeah, so they have the third best odds, and they are a projected win total of 9.5, while the Chargers and Chiefs are both 10.5. The Chiefs are still the favorites, barely over the Chargers, to win the division. So now it is the closest division as far as having the top three teams' divisional odds. Like the Chiefs are plus 165, Chargers plus 185, Denver plus 225. But Vegas, whether it's because of the first place schedule, skepticism of Bo Nix compared to how people feel about Herbert and certainly Mahomes, I think that's more of it. And those numbers, not surprisingly, didn't move from this morning before and after the trade. But listen, I think this is a smart move for Denver, and I also applaud Miami. For Miami Brew, salary cap's $306 million. Miami has $156 million of dead money this year. So I don't applaud the contracts that you signed to get there, but taking the medicine and saying, you know what? We are excited about being the worst team in the league, which they are going to be.
Yeah.
They are going to be the worst team in football. Malik Willis, this is, I guess, something of like not a redshirt year, but he will be evaluated based on his second year there. The contract.
Well, that'll be interesting because
I agree.
They're not doing him any favors. Now, if they're like, and obviously Halfley knows him from Green Bay.
I think that's.
So they're like, look, this is our guy. They're probably telling him, like you said, you got a runway. Don't worry about this first year. If you struggle, we still believe in you. But that's easier said than done.
Easy to say in March
exactly.
when you throw 2 interceptions and you lose a game 30-0.
No, well,
I don't think you're like, you know what, I'm good. And he's thrown 6 touchdowns in his entire career.
Right. No,
he can't look back and like, I'm good, I'm positive.
No,
he's
right.
About
it's a small
No,
sample.
he got paid. The confidence is Here's the deal. The Dolphins should have the number 1 pick. If they have the number 1 pick, Malik Willis, they're going to draft a quarterback, and Malik Willis is a stopgap. If Malik Willis plays at a level to where they get the 5th pick, that means he played awesome, and then he buys himself more time. But I understand if I'm Jeff Halfley saying, and they're going to rip it all down, I at least want to know I'm going to have some stability at quarterback the first year. And it's not like they're paying him a ton of money. Because
Why does it
to
even
give
matter?
yourself a chance, I think, to evaluate the rest of the roster. To give yourself a chance if they are, end up drafting a receiver, which I imagine they have to. Now, and Jalen Tolbert's their number 1. I think there is some value to having a quarterback that's going to that you have a relationship with that's going to give you at least a chance to operate in some way. But I just think this is the talent of the worst team in the league.
I think they believe in Willis, but if it's just we're tearing it down, we're essentially tanking with integrity, you could have brought in Justin Fields, a professional quarterback who started a lot of games and just – they have – to me, they have – the money they paid Willis – they have to think he could be their quarterback of the future.
Right.
Or that he is their quarterback of the future.
I didn't feel like they gave him so much to where they're tied to him long term.
He's just in a tricky spot.
Yeah.
He wants to succeed. It's his team. He's the franchise quarterback in his mind. And if he goes out
they got rid of all their players.
He gets cooked, and it's strange. Miami now has picks 11 and 30.
And by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if they trade Achane.
They should, definitely.
Yeah, it would make sense. They're ripping it down. They went for it. They didn't get it. They got to start over.
Patriots will still split with them. They will. Lose in Miami. It's hot down. Head to Houston. Kevin Durant had 2 points in the second half. More on that later. LeBron and Luka had much more. Luka finishes the game with 36. Lakers win their 6th in a row. 9 of their last 10 have been W's. Were you impressed with the latest Laker win?
I was impressed. Now they've won 9 out of 10. Obviously, you go on a win streak, you're going to lose a game here or there. And they kept it rolling. Look, without Alperen Şengün for Houston, that certainly made it easier. And you saw they were able to just double Kevin Durant and had no fear of Amin Thompson, Jabari Smith, any of those guys. So that made it easier. But the Lakers still went out and executed. So what really impressed me was the defense. We know Luka is incredible. We know LeBron has accepted this third banana role, so to speak, and he's been excelling in that. Reeves didn't have a good game, but their defense was so good. And one thing this shows, because we were talking earlier in the year about how bad their defense is and all that, it shows, look, strength and speed are important, obviously. Mm-hmm. But at the NBA level, where everybody has some degree of those things, it's really about how smart you play, right? Is your technique good? Are you in the right spots? Are you communicating, talking, and all of that? And do you give the effort? And J.J. Redick, I'll give him credit, because a few weeks ago I called him like he's got to do a better job, and he has. And now he's getting the effort. They're hustling, and they're playing smart defense. They don't have to be great defensively, but if they can be adequate, and you do those things, you can be adequate. They got good size, too. They're a big team. So I think that their defense has been – I do have a graphic. I don't know if you had one.
No, I was going to show a video, but show the graphic, and then we'll show the video.
So this is the first 58 games, the last 10 during their 9 out of 10 run. And look, they've beaten 4 playoff teams that were Minnesota, the Knicks, Houston, and Denver. And their defense has been, 6th in the NBA over these past 10 games. So I give them credit.
Dusty, do you have the video of the steal at the end of the game? No, this is Austin steal.
Oh, okay.
So watch LeBron here. LeBron jumps this pass. Look at LeBron. Oh, that can't go there. And then Austin gets it. And then Austin's like, thanks for the steal. And LeBron gets the bucket. That's not exactly what you're saying. That's not LeBron using like elite LeBron athleticism. That's LeBron like, I know this out of bounds.
But it's also LeBron. So I don't love third banana LeBron, which is what people are. You're not the first one to say it.
The title.
The title. I love the role. So I'm gonna rephrase it to Swiss Army knife LeBron, because I think it means same thing. I just think one sounds better. LeBron, the Lakers offense, not only being able to survive but being able to thrive without LeBron having to do much, unlocks the 41-year-old to deploy energy elsewhere.
Yeah.
Not just physical energy, mental energy. Like it's physically and also mentally exhausting. It's like, man, I got to run the offense. I got to do these things. And now he can deploy that. And the Lakers are in a very unique position that, man, very few LeBron teams ever have been in, where big offensive games from him can be a bonus rather than required, and that allows him to do other things. And so that's going to help the defense. The Marcus Smart has been awesome, has been really important for him. And now they are in this very unique position. They have locked up the tiebreaker with Denver. They have locked up the tiebreaker with Minnesota. They are 1-1 with Houston, and they play tomorrow. If they win tomorrow, I believe they're just going to be the 3 seed. They're going to be a couple games clear of everybody with tiebreakers, and they have 14 games left. 5 of them are against tankers. So the teams that even if you don't bring it and they are beating you, they will then take their best players out because they don't want to win games. So they really only need, if they win tomorrow night, they need to go like 3-5 in their 8 games against non-tanking teams to be the 3 seed, which, again, anybody in the West, 3, 4, 5, 6 could lose in round 1. There's no question about it. You can lose any of those. We don't know who you'd be playing. But, man, I think it would be awesome, no matter who wins, for it to be Luka, Wemby, LeBron, Wemby round 2. Either Wemby,
it'd be like a rite of passage for Wemby.
Either win or lose. It's either
throwaway take there. That's just
take of the day.
You got something there.
If we still have take of the day,
you got something there.
I got robbed last.
It would be for Wemby either the official arrival. My first time in the playoffs, I knocked off Luka and LeBron James, or the start of an amazing story. It's like And, in 15 years, in Wemby's first ever playoff appearance, he lost to LeBron James in maybe his last playoff appearance.
Duncan LeBron moment in reverse.
Something similar, yes, with the kind of different.
Not in the finals.
And so and I think
LeBron would say to him, "This league is
going to be yours." That would be great. And I think that's what we're staring at. Because I think the Lakers are going to be the 3 seed. The Spurs obviously can't fall. They're the only reason they wouldn't be the 2 is if they're the 1. And so I think the Lakers would be live in that series.
Well, like I said yesterday, the experience factor would be very interesting. And the Lakers presumably would be coming off a good win, whoever that is you beat in this first round. So,
coming up next, we're talking about the World Baseball Classic right here on FS1 and the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM.
Disney Plus wants to know, are you ready? For Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, The New Avengers, now streaming on Disney Plus.
Let's do this.
One of the best Marvel movies of all time is now streaming on Disney Plus.
Hey, you weren't listening to me.
I said Thunderbolts, The New Avengers is now streaming on Disney Plus.
Meet the New Avengers.
That's cool, man.
Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, The New Avengers, rated PG-13, now streaming on, you guessed it, Disney Plus.
Welcome back to First Things First tonight. Final game of an incredible World Baseball Classic. Team USA looks to take home the championship against Ronald Acuna Jr. in Venezuela. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, only on Fox. Joining us now is the great Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod, thanks for joining us. This tournament has been amazing. The vibes and the celebrations and the joy have been off the charts. But I wanted to get your reaction to a quieter moment from Acuna and the final out last night where he puts his glove over his face and he really just is there with his own thoughts. What was your reaction to Acuna's reaction in the final out?
Yeah, Kevin, you saw it, and you also saw it with Suarez when he hit the home run and it was like praying to God, which was, kind of a cool moment. Kevin, I don't think people understand in America how much this means to these prospective countries. This is like, I had like 4 or 5 Dominican players and a handful of Venezuelan players tell me, Alex, this is so much bigger to us to win this than to win a World Series.
Wow.
And it's because 20 countries come in, and they come in a kind of March Madness bracket. You see all the big scores, and then when it comes to cutting out time, you get to these, 4-2, 2-1, goes back to pitching and defense. But they want to establish themselves as the king of baseball. And if you're able to beat the U.S., what a moment that is, not only for the happiness and self-esteem of these countries, but you can see the pride there in Acuna. This is all in, and they're all in, and it's pretty awesome.
So along those lines, and I think over the years, it's begun to mean more to the U.S., but how would you compare how much this means to the American players? I don't think it would mean as much as a World Series, but how can you kind of gauge how much it means to our players?
Yeah, I mean, look, Chris, you got to understand, like when these guys, when the season ends, they're on the first plane back to their country, and they don't spend 1 minute in the U.S. or anywhere else. Their country means everything to them. Then comes Major League Baseball. So when you have an opportunity to wear Venezuela, Dominican, Puerto Rican, whatever that is, that's going to trump anything else that happens in America. Now, for the U.S., I think this perceived notion that those teams care more because they sing and they dance and they take, fake selfies, that doesn't mean you care more. They just have a different style. America is more like Goldman Sachs, right? They're more buttoned up, but they truly care as much. And Aaron Judge said so 2 days ago when he said, this is even bigger than a World Series atmosphere, which from Aaron Judge, that's saying a lot.
Alex, I was fortunate enough about a week and a half ago, Wilds and Bruce, I was on vacation. I was actually working, trying to on the ground.
Wasn't paid.
I was in Tokyo for Japan, Australia, and the environment was unlike any baseball game I'd ever been to. Every Japanese player that was up, they had their own chant or their own song, and then the crowd was dead silent when Australia was up. It was so fun. Again, different than the Latin American crowds, but also very different than the American crowds. And it is unique to this event because baseball in the Olympics also isn't the same, just like soccer in the Olympics isn't the World Cup. So I want to go back to 20 years ago when this started. You had the first ever, I think, walk-off hit for anybody in this event back in 2006. And when this thing started, I remember there being some skepticism. People were like, it's just basically, like, what is this creation? And now it feels like it is a launching pad to the Major League Baseball season, and it feels like there is real gravity to it. And so 20 years ago, could you have ever imagined that the World Baseball Classic would mean as much as it does right now to the sport and globally?
Nick, that's a great question, and it's a hard no. I mean, I remember talking to Derek Jeter and Chipper Jones, and we did not know 20 years ago what this was going to end up being. We were confused between, is it an exhibition game?
Right.
Is it a hybrid spring training? Is this more like an all-star game? We didn't know how to put our arms around it. And what has happened 20 years later is ballooned to one of the greatest media properties that baseball has, and Fox is covering it. It's been awesome. And I never in the wildest dreams would have think that it would have been this big. I think social media has helped a lot because you're able to capture in real time the fans dancing. Now, look, we at Fox, we have the pregame and the postgame. We show up about 4 or 5 hours before the game. There's 20,000 people outside singing and dancing and playing instruments and having concerts. It feels like LSU's playing Alabama on a football game for an ACC championship. And baseball's done something incredibly well. They struck gold. And that gold is that they've triggered the emotions of the global ecosystem. And to have Italy, they had a 2:00 game in Houston, which was prime time in Italy, and all the cafes were shut down talking about baseball in Italy. In Japan, you have over 100 million people that have watched in Japan. For baseball, it's been a juggernaut, and I hope we end tonight with another great game.
A-Rod, as a Red Sox fan, I have really enjoyed guilt-free rooting for Aaron Judge. It's just been fantastic. He's made some great plays in the field. He had the home run kind of taken away from him, but he's still hitting okay. He's had, maybe fairly or unfairly, not the best performances in big spots. Has kind of been a little bit of a negative part of his career. Do you think he comes through tonight?
Yeah, I do think he'll come through tonight. And look, Kevin, there's different ways for you to come through. I mean, he absolutely changed the game the other night against Dominican Republic by throwing Tatis out at third base with a Roberto Clemente type throw. That ball came off 96 and it was right on the money, and he threw out a runner. Yeah. And that runner maybe changed the game because for the rest of the game, he set the tone. Nobody else ran on him.
Yeah.
The Dominicans started celebrating less. They were a little bit more on their heels. You don't always have to hit a home run to change the game. He did it with that throw right there, which is a bullet. And he's also been hitting pretty well.
Venezuela's kind of been the comeback kids. Down 5-1 to Japan. We know they had the 3-run seventh last night. How do you think, what's their mentality? If they get down in this game, how does that affect how both teams kind of look at it at that point?
Yeah, Kevin mentioned Aaron Judge. You may have the best two players in the game, definitely the best two right fielders in the game, and Aaron Judge and Ronald Acuna Jr. And they both hit in the first inning. So if you're at home watching, do not miss that first inning because you may miss some fireworks. I think they take the personality and the tone of Salvador Perez. Here you go, Nick, some of your Kansas City Royals. There's been a celebration for the Royals. They've been everywhere, especially in that.
Oh, I'm about to talk to you about that, Alex. Don't you worry.
I was thinking about you the other day. But with Salvi Perez, who's the leader and a world champion and a 5-time Gold Glove winner, and then the great Ronald Acuna Jr. I mean, watch the way he runs here. And guys, these guys are playing harder and faster. Of course they are, because there's not 162. There's March Madness. Winner goes home.
Right.
Winner advances, loser goes home. So what people are seeing is real. It's a much more passionate, much more fast-paced. Look at this emotion. It's been awesome. But I do think that, to answer your question more specifically, Chris, the winner of the first 6 innings, I believe, wins the game. Because both of them have locked down bullpens that are all throwing over 100 miles an hour. And if you go up against the U.S. and you go up against Miller, his last 50 at-bats, 0 for 50.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Well, you set me up quite well Listen, this is the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
Some people are calling it the Royal Baseball Classic.
No one's.
Well, I don't know.
No
Who's the only 3 home run game in the history of the tournament? Vinny Pasquantino. Who's he play for? Jack Caglione, the second best player on Italy. Who's he play for? Venezuela, who might win. Their captain, Salvi Perez. The game-winning hit, Michael Garcia. Oh, the best player left in the tournament, Bobby Witt Jr. Who's they play for? The Royals. It's been a nice little couple weeks for my team in Kansas City, which is why, Alex, I was so dismayed when our colleague, your dear friend,
Fair question.
Derek Jeter does this. Play it, please.
Take a look around here. Does it remind you of Kansas City?
Not even close. What is that? What is that? And why the drive-by? How do you not jump in there, Alex? That's awful.
Oh, man. George Brett was not happy with that question.
I loved it.
No, nobody was happy with it.
I loved
Kansas
it.
City is one of the great baseball towns. Still remember the World Series in '85 when you guys and Brett Saberhagen beat the Cardinals.
Yes.
But what I will say is you guys are loaded and you have a tremendous future, and they've been incredibly well represented in the WBC. If you're a Kansas City Royal fan like you, Nick, and all the millions of other fans, I mean, they could not be more proud. They probably can't wait for the season to start.
Thank you,
I
Alex.
agree. As a farm system for the other big,
I was going to say,
big teams.
you know those guys are going to end up with the Yankees, Alex.
No, that's great. You guys do a great job. You guys do a great job when the money
Future
goes.
Hall of Famer
Yankees,
catcher
Red
Salvi
Sox,
Perez
yes,
is gonna like what
Dodgers.
we're doing.
Yes, it's
Whatever,
fantastic.
man.
You guys do an
You know what?
excellent job.
Alex, thank you for that.
Excellent job.
Yeah.
I will talk about Team Italy. I just wanted to get your reaction. It's been my favorite. It was my favorite play, Italy versus Mexico. Antonacci does this fake dive, Alex, and dekes the runner that he thinks the ball's in the outfield, and he gets thrown out on first. I was like, wow, what a one-time play. And then it happened again last night. Can you speak to how this specific type of play, have you ever done something like this? And how these games are decided in the margins with these tiny little plays?
Yeah, like, look, in these kind of plays, it's tournament play, right? It's the closest comp for me is March Madness, which we're in the middle of, which is, pretty cool. But again, like whether it's a trick play or whether it's Bobby Witt Jr. Diving and saving a run, or the Aaron Judge throw, it's often in these games like tonight, the small things that are going to win the games. Fan base, they won the walk-off home run, they won the that really doesn't happen in these type of games. It goes back to what's worked for 120 plus years. Strong pitching and great defense, and that's going to be the winner tonight, whoever does that best.
Alex, Mark DeRosa's caught a lot of heat. I would say, I think fairly, but does he silence all the doubters with the win tonight?
I think he does, but he has to close it tonight, right? Because he's made some brilliant moves. I think bringing in Gunnar Henderson.
Yep.
By the way, Kevin, your Roman Anthony is an absolute stud.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He'll probably be a Dodger like Mookie Betts. How dare you? Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Fun fact, Kevin, he was coached by my same high school coach at Douglas here.
Oh, nice.
But he is awesome. Yeah, I forgot your question, but I wanted to just get that one in.
DeRosa. Yeah, DeRosa having silence in the haters, yeah.
The fact that he put in Gunnar Henderson in there, I thought putting in Will Smith was a brilliant move. Slow heartbeat, winning DNA, very underrated hitter. I think he did a brilliant job in the unsung hero against that Dominican game, and also a nice frame on that ball. Yeah. By the way, if that was called a ball, as it should have been, you would have had an incredible setup, very similar to Ohtani facing Mike Trout a few years ago. Yeah, it would have been Andres Miller, unhittable Miller, to Tatis, who gets a second bite of the apple, who the previous at-bat struck out with a man on third in less than 2 hours.
Yeah, that would have
been an incredible finish. No game should ever finish like that, which just means they're going to expedite the process of getting this robotic umpires, I believe.
I was going to ask, are you excited about ABS this year?
I am, because I want to see it, right? I mean, look, we used to ride in horses. Now we have cars. I mean, the world is changing. You got to keep up with the Joneses a little bit. If it's done quickly, and I think it will because we have the technology, I think games will go up and you have more offense and you have a more accurate strike zone, which is what we're all looking for.
Before we let you go, A-Rod, can you give us the update on Camp A-Rod?
Yeah, we're doing this in this summer from June 25th through 28th, 9 through 13 ages. And I'm really passionate about this. The world's gone so crazy on launch angle and technology. We're going to go back and teach fundamentals at the highest level. I don't want any technology in this camp. I want to talk about catching the ball, going first to third, making good contact, bunting, good pitching mechanics. You're 13 years old. You should not be worried about how fast you throw. You're 13 years old. You should not be worried about how far you're hitting it. All that will come within time if you have the right foundation and fundamentals. And that's what we're going to teach at the A-Rod Cup.
And on that note, I know you have to go, but I'm going to embarrass you and Wilds for 20 seconds here. 2 years ago, when you didn't know us at all, we happened to be in a Fox suite. One of Kevin's youngest sons was there, and he walked up to you and asked you about his swing.
Oh, yeah.
And you stood there, and I can't even do it. I can't swing as well as Wild, 7-year-old at the time, and gave him a little lesson.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Just one-on-one. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen from sitting afar. So I think it's so cool what you're doing with the kids. Yeah. I think that's really
real
great.
Passion. It was like nobody saw it. It was just you, like teaching baseball
really
to a little kid. It was beautiful. I got a great picture. I was like, did you grab that picture?
It was really great.
Well, thank you very much. Have a great game tonight. Venezuela, USA tonight at 7 on Fox. Thank you as always, A-Rod. Go Wolves.
Thank you, guys.
Kevin Durant had 16 in the first half against the Lakers, but was held scoreless in the second until there was 30 seconds left in the game. He said the loss was on him. Take a listen.
I think we just got to convert. Maybe I got to just get out the way, get in the corner, space the floor out for other guys. And I think just that when I get the ball against certain teams, they just going to settle out and just say, we're just going to double and play a little zone behind it and see what happens. And if we give open shots, that's cool. But maybe I just need to get out the way, be honest. Set screens, be ready to catch and shoot. Just space the floor for my teammates. Just feel like I lost the game for us tonight. That simple. My teammates could, of course, we probably can make more threes, but it's on me. To be honest, I'm the offense, and the opposing team is going to use all their resources and not let me get comfortable.
Brew your reaction.
Well, credit to KD for falling on the sword, but I don't blame him. And obviously, he didn't play well in the second half. I think he had, 2 points and a bunch of turnovers, 6 turnovers in the second half, I think. But I don't blame that on him. I'm blaming that on, one, Reed Sheppard. Be a better point guard. And I like Reed Sheppard. I think he's got a bright future. I honestly would not be surprised if he does eventually emerge as a legitimate star.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that he could.
But do you think he's a point guard or a shooting
He's
guard?
a small – he going to end up playing point, whether he's a scoring point guard or not, because he's so small and he's not Allen Iverson, know. And then I also blame Ime Udoka. Durant should not – just because you can dribble well for your size does not mean you're a point guard. Kevin Durant is a scorer. So why you have him bringing the ball up, it made it easy for the Lakers to trap him. Because they were trapping him at half court or above the three-point line and getting the ball out of his hands. And then they didn't fear any of these other guys. Durant was, I don't know if he's sending a little message, like, get me off the ball where I've played my whole career for the most part and let me run off some screens, let me catch and shoot, whatever it is. But I blame them more than KD. Without Şengün is their second, Fred Van Vliet is their point guard. Şengün is really their point guard without Van Vliet. He leads them in assists. So without him, that was tough.
Really
but here,
work perfect.
Ultimately, Nick, Houston blew it. I don't mean the game. I mean they blew it. They should have traded Şengün, and if it was Reed Sheppard or whoever, to go get Giannis.
Oh.
Because Şengün, as much as I like him, he's probably a perennial all-star going forward. He's not going, I don't think he's good enough to lead you to a championship. Now in the East, he would be much better even, and maybe they're a contender. But trade away some of those young pieces, the two, Şengün and Reed or whoever, and get Giannis and go for it with Durant. As long as you got Kevin Durant, you're win now.
But Brew, what if... Even if they had said, we're not doing that, wasn't there something they could have done between Fred Van Vliet blowing out his knee and the trade deadline to address point guard.
Well, they should have got
some minor,
Chris Paul. Do you want to play again? Jose Alvarado, come on over.
But none of that's making them a true contender in the West.
And so, which is why I'm focused on the Durant piece of it. Because this has to work for him. And it's not.
It's not going to work.
It's certainly, this year is a wrap. And he's 37. He's still awesome. Listen, he had a bad game, and he's not a perfect player. I understand all of that. He's one of the 20 greatest players to ever live, and he is still one of the 20 best players in the league. I think
you
both
don't think
of those,
he'll be awesome next year?
No, I don't think he'll be better. You know what I mean? I think at this point,
they're not winning a championship with Kevin. And I'm not blaming Durant. I'm just saying next year, you think even with Van Vliet?
No, maybe if they did the Giannis move.
The Spurs just going to be. That's what they should have done it at the deadline.
But I mean, I love basketball and I love watching historically great players play important games. And I was very excited about Houston trading for Kevin Durant because going into the year, I was like, I think they could win it. You know, I really did. It's hard to defend your title. Okay, so OKC, we haven't seen anyone do it in almost a decade. I thought the Spurs, no chance. Their first year in the play, I thought they'd be good, but not great. We all knew the issues the Lakers could have. Like, Houston was probably my lean in the West going into the year. Oh. And now they are more likely to lose in round one than make it to the conference finals, much less the NBA finals. And it is for a player of Kevin Durant's historical greatness, who in his 20s played in 6 conference finals and 4 NBA finals, to spend his 30s having played 13 games after round one of the playoffs. 0 conference finals appearances, 0 NBA finals appearances in his 30s is absolutely bananas when I understand he had 1 year lost to injury, 31, but he's been awesome. And in teams that, while I didn't think many of them were championship caliber, none of the teams were like bad teams. The Nets team
they had
thought
a lot
were
of
unbelievable.
Nets injuries and the pandemic and all that kind of messed them up.
But the Suns, they had just come off the best record in the league and a finals appearance in the previous 2 years.
Alongside him.
And I thought this would work. And this is just going to be, it's another year where Kevin Durant, who spent the 2010s, he lived in late May and early June. And the 2020s, he hasn't sniffed early May. Like, that's...
You guys are pretty negative.
What do you mean?
I know it's like they're just, what are they, 2.5, 1.5 games behind?
Do you think
they're going to make the playoffs. They have no chance of winning the West. You actually think they have a chance?
No, but it just feels like we just did the Lakers. Like, the Lakers are all of a sudden like
Lakers
on the rise.
are better than them.
I know they're going to. Well, if the Rockets beat them, then they'll split the season series if they win tomorrow?
No, it's 1-1 right now. So they would win this.
So they would win. I don't know. It just feels like there's not a huge gap between the Lakers and the Rockets in the standings. But we're saying, hey, this one team has a puncher's chance and this other team is... because they don't have a point guard, which is
no. But hold on.
Deal.
But wait. So, are you? I'm not being a jerk here.
No,
are you straw manning or being real here? Like, do you? I do think the Lakers have a puncher's chance to make the conference finals, and I think the Rockets have no chance.
I'm just not putting them at no. I'm not putting them at no chance.
So
why? Why not?
So you think the Rockets can in round 2 beat the Spurs or the Thunder after in round 1 beating?
The Thunder are tough. Thunder are tough.
They're going home in the first round.
And it's just
mark my word.
And the other reason I think KW is the most important person on the Lakers is Luka. And so even if they don't, if they have a short playoff run this year, still feels like there's time there. The most important person on the Rockets is the guy we're talking about here.
Well, that's one of the challenges.
Yep.
The way the team was, the direction the team was headed added Durant, it became.
But it felt like it should work. They were the two. That's the thing that's
And
so
what
weird.
they needed was scoring.
They were the 2 seed last year.
You know who was important to them? Nick won't like it.
Steven
Dylan
Adams?
Brooks.
Oh, Dylan Brooks.
Steven Adams was big because
okay.
that was their rebound. It was a big key for them. But Dylan Brooks gave him attitude.
You've said several times you can just drop Durant in on a team and he fits. I don't know if that's true.
He's not the leader necessarily, but he does fit as just catch and shoot. You can write down 25 points without
I know that,
your
but around the edges, leadership,
I agree
vibes
with
of this
that.
team are totally different.
He's
point guard
not
would help.
the leader. Yeah.
And there was maybe some issues that hurt team chemistry.
This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes 3-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling 4 things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.
Live from New York, the show that's fired up for Team USA.
Yeah,
although I'm still going to drink a lot of espressos to remember Team Italy. I'm going to drink one tonight.
They didn't die.
It doesn't matter.
Can I tell you something? I'm on since 5 a.m. yesterday. I'm on 90 minutes sleep.
Why?
I flew too close to the jet lag sun.
Oh, it's the next day.
It's the next day.
That's why you were so ornery about. He's like screaming at me.
Well, KW did 2 things he loves to do. 1, lie about my record, and 2, pretend the show did not exist before he got here. Like you and I, Brew, weren't getting up at 4 in the morning going to meetings. What, KW?
I didn't say anything.
Look at him.
I didn't
Look
say
at him.
anything.
Say what you
think.
want to say something.
Say what you said upstairs. Say what you said upstairs. Say it.
Second hour.
I know what you want to say.
Today, did Jerry Jones fix the Cowboys' defense? A great quote that you got to hear. We're in prime Jerry Jones quote season.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, who's under the most pressure in the World Baseball Classic tonight? Is it that guy, Aaron Judge, who I am rooting for. But right now, well, you're in luck. Hit the butterflies, Rick. It's time for the most friendly segment in all of sports. It's not Mahomes Mountain.
No.
Because that's cold and snowy. This is called King of the Hill. It's named after LeBron James. We introduced some butterflies to just make it feel differentiated from every other sports ranking show.
That's why we do it?
Well, it's unique, you know? It's branding. It's important nowadays. You have to be your own brand.
It's nice and fun.
Brew,
butterflies.
These are the types of touches this show just didn't have prior to 6 years ago.
This is nature themed, and it's like when a tree falls in the woods.
All right, so let's first remind everyone again, guys who we believe would make the Hill, but because of injury, they're not on it. Only one of them we think could come back this year to get on it. We can show that here. I think we can. That's Steph Curry, who has been off for quite some time at this point. Steph Curry, Tyrese Halliburton, AD, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie. Obviously, the last 4 are not coming back. What's up, KW?
Do you think Steph is shutting it down? What do we think is going to happen?
I mean, they're
in the play-in,
yeah,
and they're definitely going to stay in the play-in.
He might come back to just playing that.
And Steph's...
I would.
Yeah, Steph's got a lot of play-in experience.
Too much play-in experience.
He has a lot of play-in experience.
I would
it's
play
weird.
in the play-in.
And then guys who were on the Hill last week but have fallen off. Again, injuries played a factor in the first couple.
Wow.
Maxi's missed just enough time where he's not off for good, but he had to fall off.
Okay.
I didn't see this latest Embiid injury coming.
Really?
I didn't.
I mean, come on.
Alpi is kind of been up and down. Yeah. Chet, you could get back on. Don't be mad at me.
I don't really rock with Chet like that anymore. You keep on saying.
Well, he's your guy.
No, he's not.
KW.
I've taken Chet.
KW, you did an entire.
He don't like.
You
Chet.
made us talk
He
about
never
the
really
Magic
liked
when
Chet.
they had the number 1 pick so much
long
about
time.
how they had to draft Chet and pair him with Jalen Suggs, and then when Chet played in a summer game and
that was true.
and got hurt against LeBron,
Well, there was condensation.
And you have just repped.
I'm just not rocking with Chet. He got his championship. My job is
He's been a huge disappointment. All he's done is help OKC.
I am saying
all he's done is help OKC do what Durant,
Guys,
Westbrook, and Harden.
I
couldn't
am
do.
like a CEO who takes undervalued companies and gets them up. I don't. Once it's done and running, I don't need to still rock with Chet. I'm on to the next.
So Şengün's not your guy either then.
No, I'm still rocking with Şengün. We haven't done anything.
He's up and
you
coming.
say he's going to be one and
He's a perennial
done.
all-star. He is, but still.
I did get him.
Bottom of the hill. Players 21 through 28. James Harden, honeymoon might be over. He's okay. He's playing fine, but
They're not winning it.
Oh, yeah. You notice Danny doesn't chirp about those Cavs quite as much as he used to. Karl Anthony Towns, Denny Avdia, Evan Mobley stay where they are. 3 guys, first time on the hill this year. Stephon Castle is first time ever on it. Yeah. I do think he is the second best Spur because I think Fox is a slightly better offensive player and Castle is a demonstrably better defender.
Yes.
So the nod goes Castle. And you guys know how much I love Fox. Light the beam, RIP. Amin Thompson, I think he hasn't been the best Rocket, obviously. Has he been better the last month than Şengün? Probably.
But Şengün's a better player.
Şengün's a better player, and Durant's a better player. And Scotty Barnes, here's the deal. So, the Raptors are
they hang around.
They're in the 6th seed. They've basically been the 6th seed all year. RJ Barrett's playing well. Brandon Ingram's playing well. I think Scotty Barnes playing the best. They deserve somebody on it. All right, now the top 20-ish. Row 6. Shout out AR. Again, reminder, it's not left to right. Austin Reeves, he makes it. He's playing. I know he wasn't great last night, but he's been on a heater, and the Lakers playing great. LeBron, Durant, Jalen Duren stay where they are. Jamal Murray, not just because of the 1-for-14 game, but he drops just a tiny bit. And Paolo, I thought he and his head coach were in a cold war that turned into a hot war where they were doing press conferences against each other. Magic all of a sudden became one of the hottest teams in the league. Paolo playing better, he moves up. Now to the top 15. Listen, do I think Giannis is not a top 10 player? No, of course he's a top 10 player. But the team just started getting blasted the moment he came back.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sad experience watching him. He's still awesome. He's banged up again. I don't know. I couldn't raise him up. I dropped him. I don't know what to do. Devin Booker came back and has been excellent.
Booker's been great.
And if they get Dylan Brooks back, they could be, at the very least, be a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
For
teams you don't want to see.
OKC or San Antonio in round 1. Just
tougher than you
can't beat them. Tougher than you want for round 1. Hawks have won 10 in a row. Now, were 8 of those wins against teams actively trying to lose? Yes, they were. But they've won 10 in a row, and Jalen Johnson leads them in everything.
He's nice.
And so he gets his highest placement ever on the hill. Good for him. Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum, has he played in his time back like a top 15 guy? No. But is he getting better each week? Are they lowering his minutes restriction? Yes. And out of deference to what I think could be over criticism if come the playoffs he's not, full go Tatum, which I think would be unrealistic. I'm leaving him where he is. Now to the top 10. Bam scored 83 points.
What,
KW?
What do you want the guy to do?
Hold on. You don't spoil everything.
Well, everyone knows he scored 83.
Okay. Bam scored 83. I'm putting him in the top 10. I will explain it more later.
I don't know what you're even saying, what your angle is.
Just hold on, Brew. Wild's going to break format. Let's just keep going. Jaylen Brown, is he going to win MVP? No. Should he win MVP? No. Is he even guaranteed first-team All-NBA? No. Has he been excellent start to finish all year? Does he deserve real consideration for MVP balloting? Yes. Does he deserve real consideration for first-team All-NBA? Yes. I think right where he is right about right. Is just about right.
I don't think he's going to make first team.
I don't think so either, but he at least deserves, it's a hard decision.
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard. Listen, just got banged up a tiny bit. You hope it's nothing significant. I'm always nervous with Kawhi. This is the best year he's had in the 2020s. Is it like
since he won his championship?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's his
because
best
of injuries.
Yes, but also he's averaging more points than he's averaged since he was a Raptor. Like this decade, and Jalen Brunson stays where he is. Top 6. Joker might be the best player in the league. He's awesome. The advanced metrics will always love him, and he deserves to be loved.
How about the standings?
Say it again.
How about the standings? Old school USA Today.
But here's the other. It's not just the standings. Here's the other thing. He gets maybe a little too much of a pass on the Nuggets' horrific defense. If we're gonna nitpick the other guys, most notably Luka.
I mean, he's a better
defender than Luka, I understand, but we never, ever, the Nuggets have had a bottom 10 defense all year. Nobody ever blames Joker at all. Again, he is one of the...
He slipped defensively this year.
That's kind of the point that I was trying to get to, is that I think he is part of their issue on defense. Now, the argument for him is because he's doing everything for them on offense. I get it. He's a great, great player. Slipped just a bit. Cade... Everything I said about Jaylen Brown, apply it to Cade Cunningham. Can he win MVP? No. Is he a lock first-team All-NBA? No. Is he going to have a real argument for your ballot and for a first team? Yes. Anthony Edwards, who's just kind of quietly having an awesome season. And it's not like the Timberwolves are, they're 2 games out of third place. It's not like they've been a disaster, but it feels like, they got jumped in line by the Spurs.
And he's going to be out.
Right, and he's gonna miss a week or 2. Top 3, Luka, just been a man on fire during this Lakers winning streak. Over the course of the year, 33-9-9, pretty good. Gonna win the scoring title with, I think one of the 10 highest points per game seasons in the last 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
And the 32.8. And he's doing it on good, not great, but good efficiency while creating all that offense. Wemby's offense this month has been stunning. Not because I didn't think he would ever have it in him, but the offense I thought would take longer. And if he can keep up this offensive production through the playoffs, they should win the championship. I think that's an unfair ask, like, hey, be the best defensive player in the league and keep scoring 30 a game. But if he does, they will. But despite that, it's not enough to be atop the mountain, because there's not a lot of rules for the mountain, but one of them is if you break a legitimate Wilt Chamberlain record and you have the best record in the league and you're the only player on your team on the mountain with the best record in the league, you're atop the mountain. It's SGA. That is the latest edition of King of the Hill.
All right. I'm interested in Wilds, but I'm going to go ahead and... Nick, you were out.
Yeah.
You were in Tokyo playing cards or something like that.
Please stop saying I was playing cards.
Unless they come at you. The police come for you. I sat on here against Wilds, who's going to probably try to twist it around today, against Wilds and Danny, and defended Bam Adebayo's 83 points.
Thank goodness.
He got double and triple teamed in the second half. They fouled him. The Wizards don't know how to double and triple team that well. They were fouling him. He hits 84% of his free throws. I thought it was a great performance. I hold nothing against him for breaking Kobe's mark.
Yeah.
That said, he can't be in the top 10. He can't.
Totally. I mean,
he can't be in the top 10.
Why?
He scored
because he's not a top 10 player.
But this can't.
Look, this month, he's shooting 42% from the floor. In fact, a nod below 42% from the floor. He's shooting 23% from 3.
But did he have any good games?
It was one. He had an 83-point game. One game. All right. The last
This is a weekly segment.
That was last week.
Yeah, this is
the 2 games since then. He's shooting 34%.
Well,
he's a big.
I know that.
He's shooting 16% from 3.
What?
How is he ahead of Giannis and Booker and
scored
all them
83 points.
That was last week.
But that's what this is.
That's how we evaluate this.
What are you supposed to do?
He can't.
Next week?
He can't. Was he on the mountain last week?
Yeah.
Low. He should have rose.
He did.
But he rose too high.
All right, so listen.
This
I'm
is
just saying, Bam's
this
got to
segment
come
is going to
down.
be canceled.
Bam's got to come down.
We shouldn't do the segment then.
It's not just one game. It's not who had the best game that week.
SGA broke a record that no one knew about. No one knew about. Like, do you know 127? You grow up as a kid. Oh man,
Bam
I'm on my way to Wilt's record.
SGA broke Wilt's record.
Wilt Chamberlain
Bam
played 4 minutes.
fell 17
Wilt Chamberlain
points shy
played
of
4
Wilt's
minutes in his 127th game. Then he went right back to scoring 48 points. It's ridiculous.
Is that true?
Yes, I looked it up. Like what happened to Wilt?
He got. So can I just? This was
Bam
really
didn't even break a record.
an opportunity. He broke the modern era record.
No,
most
he did.
points scored.
The record's
post-merger.
100.
Post-merger, most points scored post-merger. It was also an opportunity for me to just say this because I wasn't here.
Bam was on. He rose 4 levels.
Well, yes, because he scored 83 points.
Wow, I know you're not defending him because you ripped him to shreds.
I'm defending the segment. The segment has to have some integrity.
All right, can I defend the ranking instead of the segment?
He should be higher.
Really?
Well, can you do anything to be the top? If you score 1,000 points in a game.
Is it just player of the week? I can find that in USA Today. The league does a player of the week. Let's just run that.
Well, let's just
player of the week.
You know what? Let's just do top 20 players, and it never moves.
Well,
Let's just do it. Oh, Joker, Giannis, Luka. They don't even play. Giannis has number 2. He's champion MVP, DPOY. Yeah, sure.
May I say something?
It doesn't make any sense, dude.
Are you on my side or not?
I don't know where you're at.
Well, because you haven't let me say anything.
He's waffling.
I understand, and I'm probably a part of the problem on this, that everything has to be like an argument or a debate. I could not believe that I would get if we were like, if 4 days after Bam scores 83, it's still a big topic, and we're like, man, we've talked about every piece of it. It's like, what's the angle we haven't gotten to yet? Someone's like, hey, I've got one. Was it unethical? Like that, and the next week. The next week.
Right.
It was 10 minutes after the game ended.
Well, weird stuff was
happening.
You know what?
People were tweeting.
Guess what?
Weird stuff.
Yeah, just like weird stuff happened when Wilt scored his 100.
Yeah.
And again, if people were saying, if the argument was that was unequivocally his 83 was better than Kobe's 81, then I would understand being like, wait a minute, let's look at the context of it. Instead, this was the argument. This guy scored 83 points in an NBA game. Actually, that was bad. He shouldn't have done it. I'm not impressed. Not cool. He should have done what the kid did in that commercial where he's like, hey, ref, out on me. He should have gotten to 80 and then been like, hey, guys, I'm done. It was an outrage, the conversation about it. Good for Bam, good for Spo. That gets you in the top 10 for a week. Go ahead, K-Dub.
You're fouling the Wizards up 20-something points.
The same thing.
You're missing free throws on purpose. Why are you missing free throws on purpose?
KW, that is the same thing Wilt's teammates did for him to get 100.
No one's arguing about Wilt. If he scored 101, everybody would be pumped up.
Now, I understand. It's
Kobe
protectionism.
It's all because
I
of
understand.
Kobe.
Yes.
I get
it's all
it.
because he passed Kobe.
While you were gone, not on vacation, working hard,
Thank you.
Brew declared that Wemby was the best player in the world.
I was watching
Say that
all
again.
the shows.
Brew declared. So don't be trying to
And then
Bumped me off the mountain.
Then he moved off it, obviously.
No, I didn't
because
move off
you've got Wemby at 3 or maybe 2, it's not left or right, and SGA at 1. I just want to remind everyone of how great of a player Wemby is since you have wavered and you've lost some faith in him.
Snake.
Let's go to the end of the Clippers game last night. Darius Garland, new Clipper, trying to get free. Look at Wemby, who is 7'5" plus, guarding him all over. He did this all game. No, get out of here.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They're winning a ton of games. So do we have their winning, how much the Spurs are winning? Best record since the start of February. They're 18-2. They got to their 50th win that you talked about. That's the first time they got to 50 wins since the Kawhi Zaza year when they were on a string of 50 wins. So maybe this starts a new 50 win. Also, through 170 games, Wemby currently has more blocks than Hakeem Olajuwon and more made threes than Steph. A little interesting tidbit.
Wow.
That's pretty good, right?
Pretty impressive.
So there you go. Impressive. That's why I think Wemby.
Hold on, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Drew, who's the best player in basketball?
Wemby.
KW, who's the best player in basketball?
Well, I think Joker, but
but
I like the segment.
That's why you're a bad guy.
I like the segment. What's going on? He's winning games. Joker's losing games.
Well,
but SGA is on top, and he's winning games.
Yeah.
Not as many since February. Wilt's record no one knew about.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Tom Brady back on the field. Fanatics Flag Football Classic on Fox, star-studded. 3-team round-robin tournament featuring the best in the game. Saturday, 4 Eastern, only on Fox. Tomorrow, we've got Michael Rubin joining the show to talk about it.
And I have something to report.
Oh, you got something to report?
Yeah, because I asked Gronk if he'd come on and talk about the show. And he said, quote, "I'm sorry, man, crazy busy all week, but please tell everyone I'm about to take over in this flag football game."
Awesome. So I think he's going to.
If he wants to,
I think he's going to dominate.
Ready to go.
If he wants to, he will.
Is Kyler Murray the long-term answer in Minnesota? Well, that's the idea that was floated to him. Albert Breer writing that he was the one guy on the market that they could see as a potential longer-range answer rather than a one-year Band-Aid. Kevin O'Connell pitching that idea to Kyler to get him to come over. Do you like the idea that Kyler is the long-term fix at quarterback in Minnesota?
First of all, it's a bummer headline to read if you're J.J. McCarthy. That your head coach is just like, hey, it's not just for this year. Like, we need a long-term fix here. And I'm not even saying they're wrong because I haven't been a J.J. McCarthy believer back to Michigan, even when he won the national championship. But my answer to this question is absolutely unequivocally no. And just like I saw Bruce Wemby take when I was working, in the Eastern Hemisphere, I also saw Danny's Kyler takes. And listen, I understand the NFL has a lot of television partners and you can watch games on a lot of different networks, things. I don't know where people were getting the different Cardinals games than me. I'm unaware, and I am stunned at how many people think, well, obviously he's going to be just a demonstrably different player than he's been. I don't look at the Vikings as a demonstrably better situation than his best situations in Arizona.
Really?
Really? Yeah, that's
when he had
stunning.
peak DeAndre Hopkins, when he had...
And he was having good years, those years.
He had, I thought he had one good year. I thought he had one good year. The year they started off super hot, and then they had the terrible playoff game. And he had Cliff Kingsbury as his head coach, who, again, I think is limited as a head coach, but obviously has an offensive mind and to get the most out of the quarterback. Well, I mean, Kevin O'Connell is a really, really good play caller. And I think it is fair to say right now the jury is out on him as a head coach.
Really?
We've seen them make the playoffs twice. Both times get embarrassed in the one playoff game.
I think the playoff record is fair, but he has been a very good. They won 9 games last year with abysmal quarterback play.
With a team led by its defense and Brian
But he
Flores.
gets credit for that.
Well,
he's the head coach.
Okay, but I mean, I feel like his calling card is his offensive whispering, like the quarterback whispering. But regardless, I do think he's obviously a better head coach than Cliff Kingsbury. I'm just saying, Cliff Kingsbury, people liked Cliff Kingsbury. People thought that was going to work. Yeah. I don't know why people think Kyler is obviously the worst quarterback in that division. He by a lot. And tell me, KW.
I've seen Kyler rip off double-digit, wins in a row. Like I've seen win. Did they go 11-0, 10-0?
I think they started something like that. But
I've seen him play really well.
You've seen every other quarterback in that division have a higher peak. You've seen every other quarterback in that division win a playoff game. You've seen every other quarterback in that division have, I guess you could say Caleb hasn't had a better start to finish season than Kyler's best season, but I would disagree if you include the playoffs. And so I don't know why people all of a sudden think this is going to work.
So let me ask you, are you saying it's not even worth, because I'm not sure. I think, look, he was Rookie of the Year. Was a 2-time, legitimate Pro Bowler. And then he's struggled since he's had injuries and all that. If he's humbled, if he has truly been humbled, and he should be because the Cardinals are paying him $37 million to go away and play for someone else. If he's been humbled enough to study the playbook and really be on top of that, not be as arrogant and all that, listen to O'Connell and not try to be Superman every play. Be Clark Kent more often, but then pull out the cape and be Superman when it fits. I think he could have a really good year there, and I just think it's worth a shot. I won't be surprised if indeed he has a very good year and becomes at least their guy for the next couple years.
So if they are just done with J.J. McCarthy, which, again, it's weird for me because I didn't like J.J. McCarthy. I didn't like the pick, but I also don't like the process of giving up on him after 10 games. But let's just say J.J. McCarthy's out. If the question is this worth a flyer, my answer would be yes. Buying him as a long-term fix, he is, and we did this when this was a hypothetical. If you put pen to paper, we would universally agree at 20 quarterbacks, easily better than him. And
Let me show you this graphic. Yeah. This is since Kyler's been in the league, 7 years. Those are his ranks. I mean, they're all well in the top. Completion percentage, yards per game, total, because obviously he uses his legs, total touchdowns and turnovers, and rush TDs among quarterbacks.
Those are surprising to me.
I rock with Kyler, but and that's being injured a lot.
But just real quick, Brew, if we agree the AFC is the stronger quarterback conference, right? You agree with me, I think, that just in his conference, Dak, Jalen, Jaden, the 3 quarterbacks in his division, Goff, Caleb, Love, Baker, Stafford, Darnold. We're at 9. In a 16, and I just did it. Oh, Purdy, I know you think Purdy's better than him. We're at 10 quarterbacks minimum in the NFC.
It's just we just saw Sam Darnold turn into a Super Bowl.
And Darnold did not have the highs that he had earlier in his career.
Darnold did not have the intangible concerns Kyler has had. Darnold was not disliked by his teammates, his organization, and didn't have the work ethic concerns. Darnold also was not the smallest quarterback in the league. I'm surprised the change of scenery. It can be this. It's one thing to be like, it's worth a shot. I saw a lot of the commentary was the Vikings could be scary next year.
Well, if you're rubbing up against 10 wins with Max Brosmer, who never had played football,
KW, how many
Carson
games did Brosmer
Wentz and
play?
J.J. McCarthy,
the Brosmer games.
He played 2 games. And so, all right, so take Brosmer out and put Kyler Murray in. I think you could win one of those games.
Yes, I think he's better than Max Brosmer.
Okay.
But that does not
mean Is he better
than
Carson Wentz?
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy.
Okay, is he better than J.J. McCarthy?
That does not mean he is a long-term fix.
But if they're right might
there,
be 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. I mean,
that's
I think I'm not thinking 10 years.
No,
but
3 years
again,
is long term.
I think it's smart to take a flyer.
How many
not
wins
paying
do they
him
have
anything.
next year?
7.
So you think they get worse?
No,
I know every year is different.
I don't think that I don't think you bring back the exact same team you left with. We know they lost 2 of their best defensive linemen. I would imagine the defense will not be quite as good. Like there's, right? Because of personnel. Flores is excellent. Defense. But I do think that they should get the games Kyler starts, and he's had an issue staying healthy. And last year, again, this is the last time we saw Kyler play, and it was not contract related. A coach on the hot seat said, "You're fully healthy. We're playing Jacoby Brissett because he gives us a better chance to win." That's the last time we saw Kyler. His coach, who was coaching for his job, said, "Jacoby Brissett, play for us." And now we're like, well, in the toughest quarterback division in football, he's scary. I just don't buy it.
You could be the worst quarterback in that division and still be a very good quarterback. I mean, think of the quarterbacks in that division.
Yes, you could. You also could be the worst quarterback in the division and just be Kyler Murray.
Well, it's worth taking a flyer.
Well, sure. Yes, that's it.
And I have no problem with O'Connell saying that. That's the sales pitch, because I think it's true. Look, this is your chance to come here. You got great receivers. You got a good tight end. Offensively, we're going to, you got everything you need to have a great
argument season. You guys just made for Kyler, every single one of them would apply for Tua. And I'd be sitting here saying the exact same thing. What do you mean? Tua had a better year than Kyler.
Tua's health is always going to be a concern.
Same with Kyler.
Yeah, but I
understand it's a different thing, but as far as what just for next year, every single thing you guys are saying for Kyler would apply for Tua. I think you might I don't think always snap change of scenery fixes things. And even for the guys we talk about that, hey, here are the redemption stories, the snap change of scenery didn't fix things.
That's really
multiple years.
Yeah. But none of them showed the promise he did earlier in their career. None of them.
The rare, highly touted.
Baker showed more.
I'm RJ Decker, private investigator, uncovering the Sunshine State's darkest secrets.
Tuesdays, it's the premiere of ABC's hottest new crime show.
RJ freaking Decker has that live and breathe.
He's a private eye.
It's not a standard murder, it's something bigger.
And a public mass.
Trying to get sent back to prison today?
You go to prison one time and suddenly it's all the jokes.
RJ Decker, series premiere, Tuesdays on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Share the podcast if you get a chance. It's fantastic. On our YouTube channel, it's got all sorts of stuff going on, some exclusive behind-the-scenes stuff. Quick episode of Winners and Losers. Start with winner Hollywood. Eagles signed Hollywood Brown. Nick, do you like this move?
Listen, I think it's called $6.5 million, which means it's $3 million. So yeah, I think there's no problem with it. I believe it's a foregone conclusion that A.J. Brown's not going to be on the team. And because of that, I think filling out the receiving core makes sense. And Hollywood's a imperfect player, I think is fair to say. But he's a talented player. He was actually pretty productive for the Chiefs last year. And so for that price, I think that's good value, just to be totally candid.
Yeah, I'm with it. Look, right now he's their third option, their third receiver. He's better than Jahan Dotson, who was their third receiver before. And if they do trade A.J. Brown, I mean, he's a number 2 to Devontae Smith. I mean, for the price, yeah, I think it was overall a win.
I think that even if they trade A.J. Brown,
they're going to get a receiver?
Yeah, he is going to be
I'd rather him be the third guy.
And I think their 5th pass catcher. Because I think it's Devontae, Goddard, Saquon, whoever they draft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's good at that.
Right, in that role, that's totally fine.
Winner streaks. Nickeil Alexander-Walker scored 41 points, lift the Hawks to their 10th straight win. Brew, is it time to start talking about the Hawks? And if you say no, we're just going to move on.
Not really.
Okay. Loser, taking it easy.
But Nickeil Alexander-Walker averaging 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Good for him.
KD called for an 8-second violation in the fourth quarter.
This is bad.
Well,
That's on KD, period.
It's a 1-point game in the fourth quarter.
He's not the point guard.
No, he shouldn't be playing point.
Can he see?
Well, I'm just saying. It's just like, if you need a sign that the Rockets need a point guard, it's just leisurely bringing the ball
By the way,
up.
hold on. I don't show this again though. I know he's not the point guard, and I really like KD. Also,
you should know
someone else has the ball and he asks for it. Watch this. So if you can say he's not the point guard. Watch when we show this. He's got the ball. KD's like, give it to me. Okay, get across half court.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially when he's been saying after the game, he's like, maybe I shouldn't be bringing the ball.
They need to have KD in his role. He's a scorer. He's not a great defender, passer, rebound. He's adequate at these things.
Yep.
Dribbling, running offense, scorer.
I also
put them in somebody else's.
Brew will hate, you might not. If you're not being guarded, the 8-second rule shouldn't be in effect. Like the shot clock's going. So your team, like if you are not being closely guarded, I don't care about an 8-second rule. Like especially when it's like a 0.2. Like it's just
Well, they put it in to speed up the game back when the scoring was very low.
Austin knew it. Austin was counting down in his head.
Okay.
I didn't love
He's
that.
got to know better.
Winner 600. Steve Kerr won his 600th game in his 943 total games. He's the fourth fastest. Phil, Pat Riley, Pop, then Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot, younger people, do people understand what he did with that Warriors team? No one thought that when he took over, no one thought they had championship talent.
For the record, I did.
Really? No one. They were winning. Mark Jackson did a very good job with them. They were a second round and out team every year, or even first round. Nobody thought Steph had that.
No.
Everybody, Mark and others had him running point like everybody else in the league, high pick and roll all day long. He got him off the ball, utilized his shooting.
He also sent David Lee to the bench and put Draymond.
No, Lee got hurt.
Lee got hurt, and then he stuck with it.
He lucked into Draymond.
Right. But it still took temerity for once when Lee came back from injury. He was the highest paid player on the team. I disagree with you a little bit in this regard. I do think the Warriors organization, when they did the Iguodala trade, it was because they thought they could potentially compete for a title, which is why when Mark Jackson, they couldn't get out of round 2, they fired him. What nobody saw coming was they were about to, for his first 2 years, they won 140 games in the regular season. His first 2 years, they averaged 70 wins.
And then 70,
and a champion, they went 67 and 15 and then 73 and 9, a title, and then, lost to LeBron.
Loser sportsmanship. Okongwu gets a tech here for throwing the ball at Desmond Bane. Now the story here is, remember, a few weeks ago when Desmond Bane, I think, was following him and then in the process threw the ball at him. Desmond Bane, not just shooting threes down there.
So are you saying that he shouldn't have got whistled for a tee?
No, I just like the storyline that Desmond Bane. I like having a memory on, hey, you did me wrong, and I'm gonna get you back a little.
And we blew you out. The Warriors. You were just raving about how well. No, Nick was. The Magic.
They had been playing really well.
So they ran into the Hawks.
Yeah.
Hawks are good.
How about
final winner, camaraderie. Team USA showing up in Team USA's hockey jerseys. Now, are these game-worn, Dusty?
No.
I doubt it.
No, of course not. Okay, of course not.
That looks great,
you
though.
Think they got
I like
KW?
I don't know.
What type of question is that? They got the entire, every game.
Not once I said it. I could see one or two.
It was free.
I could see Jack Hughes just sending it down. Just like, hey,
just
man.
Let it go, man.
Just
let it go. It was just you misspoke.
No, listen.
Just let it go. Just move on.
I could see one or two guys sending their jersey down.
You know when you took.
I could see it.
KW. You know when you took
that wouldn't be
your
good.
sons.
It's either all or nothing.
Not for Christmas, but as a Christmas gift to see LeBron at MSG.
Yes.
And you saw all those fans in those LeBron jerseys. They just bought them. You can get those
He
at
didn't
the
send
store.
them. Those weren't game worn.
I saw a video from Fanatics. They're opening up the jerseys, and I was like, oh wow, maybe.
You think that if they were game worn, they'd be all sent from the people that make the jerseys?
No, is that true, Dusty?
What?
Dusty, you better not be messing with me. Dusty's telling me that they're game worn. If this is true,
where you get that from, Dusty?
Michael Rubin himself, who's going to be on the show tomorrow.
You gotta ask.
How did he get Jack Hughes? First of all, Jack Hughes is not like a big guy.
Multiple sources. They do look game worn.
Let's go. Let's go.
They don't look like your average thing you buy at the mall.
This is Isaiah Stewart all over again.
Yeah, they look. I could tell they were. I could tell.
Good call by you.
Live from New York, first things first, overtime. Lots of news. The Broncos do enough to keep their AFC West crown by signing Jaylen Waddle. Meanwhile, what do the Eagles' off-season moves mean for A.J. Brown? They just signed Hollywood. Does that mean A.J. is headed to New England? Yes. And finally, it's Tuesday, which means it's Top 10 Tuesday. Danny, what's on store for Top 10 Tuesday?
Top 10 players and coaches that will define the NCAA tournament.
I think it's a great Top 10 Tuesday.
I love this event. I'm devastated to be working the next 2 days. if I'm being totally honest. I'd rather be at a bar, gambling, having some cocktails, watching games.
Don't you dare.
I'm just saying, man. a little more
I mean, we can put the games on, but the other stuff
If we had
we
the
want to
game,
do, none
I
of
like
that.
that, though.
We got to have a TV with the games on.
I don't think that would lead to the best shows, guys.
I mean, it's just there in the background.
Yeah.
We're all pros. We're all pros.
You guys can do whatever you want with your TVs.
Yeah.
I know what my TV to be on.
It's a great show coming up. First things first, overtime. We're starting in Denver. Jaylen Waddle just signed. Broncos get Waddle and a fourth-round pick, number 111. Miami is getting Denver's first-round pick, number 30. That gives them 2 in the first round. They also have pick 11. Waddle at his peak, very, very good. Tua was out there slinging it. Danny, is this enough for the Broncos to keep their AFC West crown? They give out crowns.
You see, I wore a crown yesterday.
Yes.
I just wanted to be sure everyone saw it. I wore the crown. Yeah. No big deal. I'm shocked the Broncos won the AFC West last year. So I don't necessarily think that it's enough to do it, but it's an arms race in the AFC West. Like, this is one of the good things. We don't have too many teams that tank in the NFL. But the Dolphins are, we'll call it a soft tank with all of their dead cap money. But they had talent. It's an NFL team. So it makes other teams that we care about more interesting. Like Tua makes Atlanta a little more interesting. Bradley Chubb makes Buffalo a little more interesting. And this makes Denver more interesting. Like this is a great trade for the Broncos. And for the Dolphins, you get a first-round pick to more accelerate whatever this is going to be, a rebuild, whether it's around Malik Willis or whether it's around a quarterback in next year's draft. Like, I thought it was a trade that made sense for both teams. And Denver's offense got by last year on smoke and mirrors.
Right.
On fourth quarter comebacks and close games against the Giants and the Raiders. And it was just like a real
Jets.
And the Jets. It was like a weird season. Very hard to imagine they duplicate that or replicate it. So Jaylen Waddle, is he a top 10 receiver? No. But is he a number 1 receiver? I think he absolutely is. And so I do think that while I would pick them third in the AFC West, wow. I personally would, it does make them close with the Chargers and the Chiefs. I think you can make a case for all 3 of those teams.
Well, and listen, I mean, they deserve credit. They won 14 games, and they feel, and if I were a Broncos fan, I would feel like, and if our quarterback didn't break his ankle, we'd have won.
Absolutely.
We'd have been in the Super Bowl.
They almost beat him with the
backup.
You got to play who's out there.
And you mentioned it's an arms race in the AFC West, and that is true as far as the quality of the top 3 teams. What's not true is that it is not an arms race when it comes to the receivers of the AFC West. He's the best receiver in the division by a lot now. Like, the Chargers don't have a receiver anywhere close to him. The Broncos didn't prior. The Chiefs' best receiver right now is Rashee Rice, who is I don't know if he's going to be a Chief, by week 1. And the Raiders are rebuilding their team.
Yeah, unless you count Brock Bowers.
He's not a receiver.
Yeah.
He's the best pass catcher in Bowers. And so it's weird because there's never been more great receivers playing at one time than right now, yet there's 2 divisions that really don't have any of them, the AFC East and the AFC West.
Yeah.
And so, they're clustered where these great receivers are. I rarely like the trading the first-round pick and something for a non-quarterback. I do like this one for Denver because it's a first-round pick, but it's the 30th pick. They didn't acquire any new players at free agency. They just kept their own players. They're not paying their quarterback. They had to get better at wide receiver. He's better, in my opinion, than all the free agent wide receivers. I'd rather have him than Alec Pierce. I'd rather have him than go get Michael Pittman or try to trade for Michael Pittman or
Mike Evans.
Or Mike Evans, pardon me. Or sign Mike Evans. And so I think this is a smart move. And I do look at this oddly. The Chiefs traded for the 29th pick. The Broncos traded away the 30th pick. Those are the 2 trades of the offseason, the Chiefs with the Rams and the Broncos with the Dolphins, where I like it for both teams. All 4 teams involved in those 2 transactions. Yep. I understand why it made sense. It feels like both sides felt like they got good value in what they were trying to do. And I do think the Broncos, just because they won the division last year, doesn't mean they're the favorites to win it this year. In fact, according to Vegas, it's close, but they are projected to be 3rd in the division. So they did need to do something. I think this is smart.
I think this was a great move for the Broncos. I think the Broncos and the Chargers are the 2 best teams in the AFC West. And, Broncos, their defense may not be quite as good as it was last year, but it should be very good. And offensively, they were just bad. They averaged 23 points a game. They scored 13, beat the Jets, 13-11. They had those comeback wins. This is their first, they have a real playmaker now. And so we know what Nick's strengths are, and he's a guy that can get you yards after the catch. He's obviously got the speed, so he's a deep threat. Cortland Sutton becomes a nice, really good number 2. I think the running backs get better with this. And look, I don't know what to make of the Chiefs right now. I obviously they gave up a lot, let a lot walk out the door this offseason. We'll see how well they rebuild through the draft. Mahomes has the injury. He hasn't had, been great last couple years by his standards. Will he get? I've talked about bringing him back, and how much would that help? So the Chiefs to me I don't know what to expect from them. I understand people giving them the benefit of the doubt for sure, but right now on paper and going from what I saw last year, I like the Chargers and the Broncos.
I hope you didn't see that segment.
I was just going to say, should we break the news to him?
Please don't, because let's keep him in the dark. We just didn't. We had a segment where we just didn't diss Justin Herbert, and Danny went crazy. And
what do you mean?
Well, I took the Chargers from him officially.
We're a
he
Chargers
even
show.
Admitted it.
I also said
we're a Chargers. I gotta tell you something right now. Wilds gives me a hard time for doing things that are help the show grow, but I have to be away from the show.
I apologize.
And I understand now, because if the strategic decision made while I was gone was, hey, let's pick a team that doesn't have a fan base in its own city, and that's the team we're going to attach ourselves to. That's a bad idea.
I don't make the rules.
Stumbled into it.
Well, I can tell you right now, we're not a Chargers show. You know why? Because there are no Chargers shows. That's true. You can be a Justin Herbert guy.
I'm a Herbert guy.
But
Drew's a Chargers guy.
Well, I'm not picking them to win the AFC. I'm saying
but you're picking them to win the AFC West.
They got a good chance. Denver, this was before this move, so I might pick Denver.
You think Herbert might win MVP?
I think he could.
You guys
absolutely.
all try to steal takes from each other. Brew, Wild trying to steal Wemby from Brew. You guys,
that's what happens.
You guys can have it.
I'm a Herbert guy.
I'll just stick with the underdog Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Then nobody believes in them Chiefs. It's fine.
But aren't they projected to win the AFC West?
I know it's a weird thing.
You cannot say
it's not allowed. It's not allowed.
You can't do it. If Duke is not an underdog.
Hey, there's the Chief.
Eagles are going Hollywood. Silver Linings Playbook starring Bradley Cooper? No, Hollywood Brown. 1-year deal up to $6.5 million. Do you think this is a precursor to A.J. Brown getting traded?
If it is, they have serious problems in Philly.
Yeah.
I mean, Hollywood Brown is a sweet name. It feels like he should be so much better than he's. He has
a great idea.
That's a great
idea.
He hasn't had a 100-yard game since week 3 of 2022.
No.
He had 5 touchdowns last year for the Chiefs. He is in stretches of time a productive player still, and he is fast, and the idea of Hollywood Brown is great. But injuries, size, situation, this is replacing Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
For Philly. That's what. So I don't think it is a precursor to moving A.J. Brown.
No, but they are moving A.J. Brown.
Maybe. I know the cap situation seems to suggest that they have to.
No, they're definitely. There's no. You don't. This is the part of it I don't. Do we all agree they listened to trade offers for him?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we all agree? Okay, so then that's it. That's once you start dating other people, you're breaking up. They are, especially
the Raiders traded Max Crosby.
And guess what?
And now he's saying I'm all in. I'm ready.
And you know what? I don't believe he's going to play for the Raiders.
I don't.
However,
he's saying though.
I know he's saying it.
Ready.
And at least Max Crosby doesn't have multiple years of being a pain in the ass for the Raiders, and us feeling like they probably should have moved on from him. So I think it's going to have to be after June 1, which means it's after the draft. So I think the Eagles know they're trading A.J. Brown. And the Jaylen Waddle trade, much like the Trent McDuffie trade, makes it very clear about what the price is. You are going to have to give up about a very late first-round pick-ish for A.J. Brown. And somebody will.
He's going to be traded after the.
Right. So either a really good team trades their first-rounder, or it's a second plus a conditional fourth that can become a third based on, this or that, that type of value. But the Eagles are operating as if A.J. Brown won't be there because A.J. Brown's not going to be there. And I can't imagine anybody thinks it's a good idea for him to be there.
This certainly, I'm with Danny. This better not be your answer. I mean, Hollywood Brown is a very nice number 3. He's better than Dotson. He's a very nice third receiver. If they're thinking he's going to replace A.J., they better draft a receiver, something like that, get another receiver in the trade. But he's not replacing A.J. Brown if you want to win the Super Bowl.
Every team doesn't need 2 number 1s. We just gave all these flowers to the Broncos for getting Jaylen Waddle. I don't think Jaylen Waddle is quite as good as Devontae Smith. Right?
They don't have a Saquon Barkley. You know what I mean? If you don't have a number 1 receiver, you usually got some phenomenal passing quarterback or
no. But that's what I'm saying.
Like
the Eagles right now have been operating with an embarrassment of riches from offensive talent. If you already have Saquon and you just kept Goddard and you have Devontae Smith, you can trade A.J. Brown and not be like, well, if we don't have another top flight receiver, what are we going to do? You're going to be in the position a lot of teams wish they could be in.
Except at quarterback.
What do you mean?
I mean, you think Jalen Hurts is going to make that offense better?
I think Jalen Hurts is better than Bo Nix. And we just laid all these flowers at the feet of.
You don't think
Jalen Hurts is better than Bo Nix?
Did you see how he threw the ball last year?
I saw him. We can't do it. We can't. We got to go to touchdown.
Did you see how he threw the ball last year?
I saw him with confetti all over him in the Super Bowl.
And I saw Bo Nix did not throw
the ball. It's getting close, Nick.
Time for Top 10 Tuesday. Today,
here we go.
Top 10 players and coaches who will define the tournament. Stay tuned to the podcast. I had to get back on my Jalen Hurts corner.
There's a lot of space on that corner. Can't wait for March Madness. 64 teams down to 16 over the next 4 days. It's the greatest time, or from Thursday to Sunday. Best time in sports. The players and coaches who will define the tournament. Coming in at number 10. He'll be the number 1 pick in the draft, or 2. Darren Peterson from Kansas. There was drama. Does he love basketball? But he's compared stylistically to Dwayne Wade and Anthony Edwards and Kobe Bryant. How can you pass on him? But if he doesn't play, what's the deal? Quietly, last 7 games, if we do it by playing minutes, which is what you're going to need to make a run in this tournament, first 26 games, 30 or more minutes, only did it 6 times. Last 7 games, he's averaging 31.5 minutes. He's passed 30 minutes in 5 of the 7. Darren Peterson could cement himself as the number 1 pick if he takes Kansas on a deep run. They haven't made it past the Sweet 16 since they won their last title. Coming in at number 9, not a household name yet, Yaxel Lendenborg, best player on Michigan. This is the team I think is going to win the title. He's going to be a first-round pick. You watch Michigan for 1 minute and you've watched basketball before, you're like, oh, that team's huge. Everybody's big. Right. All of their guards are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". They've got a bunch of 6'9" guys. They got a 7'4" guy. They are just a massive team. 3 losses on the year. He's the Big Ten Player of the Year, and I think that they're going to win the title. Small region for them. Coming in at number 8, Rick Pitino. Back-to-back Big East regular season titles, back-to-back Big East tournament titles. Feels a little snubbed that they got the 5 seed instead of a 4 seed. He could become the first coach ever to take 4 different programs to a Final Four, and in an East region with Izzo and Hurley and Self and Shire. He's the only coach that you could see do this post-game. Just pounding beers.
Still works.
Post-game.
He's pounding. He's enjoying.
It's just more than half gone. The game just ended. That's what I'd be doing during March also, Rick. Coming in at number 7, Darius Akov.
Yes.
This guy is an absolute stud. Bill Simmons just compared him to Kyrie Irving on his podcast. I don't know if I would go quite that far, but SEC Freshman of the Year, SEC Player of the Year. Only guys who have done that are Brandon Miller and Anthony Davis. He just averaged 30 a game for the SEC tournament. He is an absolute stud. And John Calipari, also like Rick Pitino, trying to become the first coach ever to take 4 different programs to a Final Four. At number 6, John Shire, head coach at Duke. Massive pressure on Shire. He wins 27 or more games every year he's at Duke. They're the favorite this year. They were the favorite last year. They blew that game to Houston last year, and they were up 5 in the last minute. It's the longest title drought for Duke since they started winning titles in 1991. Their last one was 2015. John Shire needs to cut down the nets. Coming in at number 5, Todd Golden at Florida. They're the champs. Weird season for the defending champs. Preseason number 3. In January, Florida unranked. Then they go on this run. They're a 7-loss 1 seed, but they've been playing so well, they're back to a 1 seed. 7 days ago, everyone was picking them to win the tournament. Then they get blown out by Vandy in the SEC tournament. They can be the second program ever to have back-to-back titles multiple times. Billy Donovan, of course, did it. It would be them and UCLA. Coming in at number 4, Kingston Flemings. Best player on Houston. Kelvin Sampson, everything on his resume except a national championship. Because of how the tournament broke in the regions, Rice is actually hosting that region, so the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 would be in Houston. This is the best offensive player Kelvin Sampson's had at Houston. He could be a top 5 pick, which would be the first for the Cougars since Hakeem Olajuwon. They have more wins than any program in college basketball since 2017, but again, no title. Number 3, trivia question. Big 12, best conference in basketball this year. Was the player of the year in the Big 12 Darren Peterson, number 1 pick? It wasn't. Was the player of the year in the Big 12 A.J. DeBansta, who if it's not Peterson, he'll be the number 1 pick? It wasn't. It was Jaden Bradley at Arizona. He's played over 140 games at Arizona, and he averages 13 points per game, but he's a journeyman college player. He's a winner, beloved there. Arizona, thought of as this powerhouse program. They're a 1 seed. Their last national championship, 1997. That is also the last national championship for a West Coast team. No team in the UCLA, Arizona, anybody. Also, they haven't been to the Final Four. The last 6 times they were a 1 seed, didn't make it. A lot of pressure on Arizona to get over the hump. Number 2, history in the making here. I'm breaking the rule and putting 2 guys.
Love it.
Alex Karaban, Dan Hurley. Karaban, he's not the best player on UConn, but he would be a player to win 3 titles in 4 years. First player to do it since the end of the UCLA dynasty in 1975. This could be Dan Hurley's 3rd title. list of coaches in college basketball history that have won 3 titles. You've heard the names: Knight, Calhoun, Roy, Rupp, Coach K, and John Wooden. But to do 3 in 4 years, we can eliminate basically everyone on the list. Wooden and Rupp. So to be the only modern
10
coach.
10 and 12 years is pretty strong.
10 and 12 years is pretty
Pretty good team.
Yeah.
Quality squad.
I think they were paying those guys.
They
Quality squad.
dominated the sport. And then at number 1, we go back to Duke, and it's Cameron Boozer. If you're the best player on the
Wilds make this list?
Yeah, I'm right. 1 and 2. Let's go.
Early.
Yeah. Best player, best team. He's going to win National Player of the Year. Only guy in the country averaging more than 20 points, more than 10 boards, and more than 4 assists. Cam Boozer, the player who will most impact this NCAA tournament.
Love this.
Rue?
Not a bad list. I'm wondering, my guess is you left them off because you don't expect their team to do much, but AJ DeBansta.
So
now, they're 6th seed at BYU.
And Richie Saunders, their second best player, got hurt and is out. So he's not going to play in the tournament. They just don't look the same without. DeBansta's amazing. He's going to play 40 minutes a game. He obviously can will them to
5 points a game.
Yeah, but I mean, he will probably play as long as BYU is alive. He probably will not even sub out. He's amazing, but it's just we've seen great players on undermanned teams. They can't carry you that deep into the tournament when the rest of the guys around you are not that good. So his floor is number 2 pick. His ceiling is number 1 pick. I just don't think there's that much to gain for him this tournament.
I want to talk about Darren Peterson, but I think I disagree with that last point you made. That one guy
I think he's got a lot to gain.
And that one great player. But Dwayne Wade took Marquette to the Final Four. We have
Steph Curry and Davidson.
Sure. I mean,
I think you're thinking of Durant. Durant didn't go far.
Right. It's not a guarantee having one great player, but a lot of the guys who turned into great pros were not a lot, but a handful were on somewhat undermanned college teams and took them deep. Obviously, our guy Melo, he had one other pro on his team, Akeem Warwick, and they win the whole thing.
My small pushback to that would be now the top teams are so good. You got guys making 6 figures that are bench players because of NIL. I think that there's a huge gap between the top teams in this tournament and the middle and lower teams. So I think we're going to see a lot chalkier tournaments going forward, just like last year.
So I totally agree with that. I think if you're filling out your bracket, going boring chalk the first weekend is the smarter play.
But also, then just don't even do it.
Well, I'm just saying.
Don't even do it.
But Darren Peterson, I think, should be higher because I think he could. I think you go anywhere from 1, 2, or 3 in this draft, and I think a lot of it will have to do with how he does in this tournament. I think NBA teams want him to be the number 1 pick. I think he has the highest upside.
He's ridiculous.
And I think that the oddity of his season is the reason that he could potentially fall. I think if he puts together 3 awesome games and they just make the Sweet 16 and lose, he's the number 1 pick of the draft. And so I just think Darren Peterson is the most talented player in college basketball and has, a chance to take a team that's not a 1 or a 2 seed on a run if he plays 30 minutes.
Good, and you're rocking with Kansas finally.
No, I'm not. My pick is Houston, and I think Houston, the only thing you left out on Houston is they're in Florida's region. They lost in the national championship game, not getting a shot off against Florida. They now potentially have that game as a rematch in Houston to get to the Final Four. I think Houston wins it. I think Florida's.
Danny, who's your pick to win it all?
Michigan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who's your Final Four? You already said Michigan.
Oh, my Final Four.
Well, give me someone else other than Michigan. You don't have to do a final.
Well, listen, I like the Houston pick because of the draw there, and I do think Arizona. Like I said, I'll tell you what, Big East, out early.
Out early?
But yeah, both St. John's and UConn going to be very disappointed this year.
Rough show for
Big
you
East is not very good.
St. John's, Troy, I believe in you after you hooked us at the Garden. Coming up next, Jerry Jones, classic Jerry Jones, talking about his team. And if he didn't do something, they would have been good. Who did that? Next on First Things First Overtime.
Tonight, it's the final game of what has been an incredible World Baseball Classic, and they're rocking the Team USA sweaters. Look good, feel good, play good.
I see the vibes. It's all about the vibes.
That's right. Team USA is playing Ronald Acuna Jr. in Venezuela. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on the OT. I got Willie Colon out here alongside me. Let's go to Dallas. This is going to shock you.
Okay.
But Jerry Jones was talking.
Uh-oh.
Yep. He said something at the Arlington Grand Prix on the offseason free agency and the moves that have happened to this point. Let's take a listen to Jerry.
What we really have coming back from our veteran defensive players that really didn't play that much last year, injury issues, things like that, gives us a lot of promise. And I'll tell you, when you have the challenges we had last year, there's no place to go but up on the defensive side of the ball. And had we played a lick of defense last year, we'd have had ourselves, I think, a real playoff run.
So that last part is certainly debatable, but he's right. They had a terrible defense, so that part's not debatable. So, Willie, do you see the Cowboys improving, regressing, staying the same? They were a 7-9-1 team last year with a great offense and a horrible defense.
Well, so in my eyes, it's regressing slightly.
Wow.
Because Jerry has come out before this one bite we just saw and said, hey, man, we're going to make a splash free agency. We're going to shock the world. We're going to spend money. Obviously, you know Max Crosby, you know Trey Hendrickson, and you're saying to yourself, where's the splash? But
Rashawn Gary doesn't qualify for you?
Would you put him up there?
No.
Right.
No, I was kidding. Fourth round pick. No.
Right, but so I understand, like, yes, you have Rashawn Gary. You do have Jalen Thompson, but there's still more needs at DB, right? Like, you understand, Deron Bland is coming off foot surgery. He had it in the offseason. You also got to think about they need inside linebacker help. They also need another edge rusher. And so you could either go get a Joey Bosa, or there's talks about going getting Alex Highsmith from the Steelers. You got T.J. Watt making $40 million. They have a young dog in Nick Herbig who they want to get more reps. Maybe Jerry works out a deal and say, hey, give us Highsmith. We give you draft capital. Steelers want it, especially for next year's draft. So there's options. But right now, they still need more. But it's still early. So I'm not doubting Jerry has something up his sleeve, but right now it looks mid. 6'7", as the kids would say.
Oh, my God, please don't say that anymore. I get it enough for my kid in kindergarten. He thinks it's so funny.
Right.
So I think, and this is not the sexiest answer, but I'd bet on staying about the same because I do think they'll be better on defense this year.
Okay.
I think they'll be better because of, you assume, a little bit better health, the additions that we just showed on the graphic. Right. They have the 12th and 20th pick in the draft. I would assume that those resources go more towards the defensive side of the ball, if not both of those resources to the defensive side of the ball. So I do think their defense will be better this year. But their offense will probably be worse.
Really?
Well, I mean, like, are they going to get it? Javonte leaves. Are they going to get as much statistical production from the running back position? Are they going to be as healthy as they were on the offensive side of the ball? Is George Pickens playing under a franchise tag or a contract? We'll see how that goes. Is he going to have the best season of his career again, where he was an all-pro player? They have the talent to be the number one offense in football, and they were really good last year.
But you just ripped off a bunch of what ifs, all right?
That's what I'm saying. My guess is the defense is better and the offense is worse, as we now both have done the.
But I also think the problem with Jerry and the Cowboys, they're kind of stuck in this old model where they want to build through the draft when the rest of the league is making trades and getting free agencies. But we also got to understand the Cowboys last year didn't get a receiver in the draft, so they turned around and said, hey, called up the Steelers, give me George Pickens, and that worked out for them. So with all that said, man, to me, this is like the second quarter in the free agency. Like, there's still a lot of game left. Are they down a couple points? Sure, because I don't think they got the splash pieces that we expected. Nevertheless, man, something has to happen in the draft to make us go, we got something here.
Well, the good news is it's the Cowboys, so we'll probably talk about them again.
Without a doubt.
Between now and next year. 100%. So we'll make a promise to you. Sometime between now and the draft, we'll do this again and see where they're at. And then certainly after the draft, because that's where their biggest resources are going to come with those 2 picks in the top 20. Let's go to Vegas. They actually have a bigger prize in that draft, and that is the number 1 overall pick. So Rich Gannon, he was in on the Raiders Morning Commute, a show that the Raiders website puts on, and he was asked about his perception of Fernando Mendoza with the Raiders holding the number 1 pick. And this is Rich Gannon's evaluation. Take a listen.
There's one thing that you get an impression of a player and a person. He's got presence about him that's pretty impressive. He's very thoughtful. He's very mature. He doesn't give you canned answers. He's got a ton of energy and passion. He loves football. He wants to learn. I think he's got a lot of the qualities and intangibles that you really love at that position. It's all about putting together a great squad, a great team that can go out and compete with anybody.
You know, it's the big three. It's carpool karaoke, comedians in cars getting coffee, and the Raiders morning commute. Those are the big three for content.
Which look great, by the way. You see the silver fox look?
Yeah,
I can see you like that, DP.
Not quite. I am graying, but that's it's for having two toddlers.
Same.
Are you buying that Mendoza can resurrect the Raiders like Rich Gannon is?
Listen, I have my reservations about Mendoza. I think I've been honest about that. He won a national championship, but I'm not overly sold that he can be a difference maker like a young Joe Burrow, right? Like I don't see that. But nevertheless, man, I do think they're going to build around him. But I also think if you're the Raiders right now, it will behoove you if you go out and get a veteran quarterback that can help this young man develop. If you got a chance to go get a Joe Flacco or Kirk Cousins where, you know, he can sit a little bit, watch, and kind of, you know, grow into being a legit pro. And John Spytek, the GM for the Raiders, flat out said, hey, we're not in a rush to start this dude, right? We want to kind of build this thing, get some structure. But I also think if you get a veteran quarterback and you're able to win with some of the pieces you have right now, which isn't a lot, they still need help in the receiver room, I think it's not about developing Mendoza, it's also helping Clint Kubiak out, because if you're able to win, man, you build equity in that locker room, right? Because Clint Kubiak right now, all he knows is leaving a Super Bowl outfit in Seattle. Now he has to step into Las Vegas where there's obviously a lot of holes, and all this team knows how to do is lose. But if he's able to change that narrative, now guys in that locker room now look at him and say, all right, you are the guy. Like, where do we go now? Oh, you want us to follow this young kid? Okay, so I think the synergy and all those moves can work hand in hand, but they got to continue to build this roster.
I think that they are doing a pretty good job of building the roster. Like, they're in a better position today than I thought that they could have been with. I think you like 60% of your offensive line. You like Colton Miller, you like Linderbaum, you like JPJ as one of your guards. You like Genty, you like Bowers, you sign Naylor, so you've got a great tight end, a great running back prospect, and at least a competent wide receiver. You bring in Clint Kubiak. It's like that is certainly the foundation for a pretty good offense. The bar is really low in Vegas at quarterback. Like, let's just look at what the Raiders have had recently. Like in the post-Derek Carr world, they have started 7 quarterbacks, and they have basically generated the same number of touchdowns as turnovers. Wow. A 1-to-1 ratio is not good. And so I think there's a lot of reason for optimism here, and we have plenty of time, whether they start him right away or not, between now and the draft, after the draft, to evaluate like a nuts and bolts thing on Mendoza. Mm-hmm. What I will just say as a fan of a team that never had a good quarterback in the Chicago Bears, and the team that I covered before I covered the Bears was the Chiefs. Sure. The Kansas City Chiefs, from Todd Blackledge in 1983 until Patrick Mahomes. Okay. So 83 until 2017.
I was born in 83.
Okay, I'm born in 86. They won exactly 0 games with a quarterback that they had drafted. They went 3 decades without doing it. The Bengals were the Bungles, and then they got Joe Burrow. Yep. The Bears had never had a quarterback, and then they get Caleb. Sure. So, like, one quarterback really can turn it around. I don't know if Mendoza is going to be that guy, but we did not necessarily think that Patrick Mahomes was going to be that guy. There was Burrow,
system fit, all that had to work in the line.
Sure, there's a million reasons why the stars have to align. All I'm saying is offensive coach, play caller, solid foundation of an offensive line, other high-end prospects at skill position around him, a number 1 pick quarterback who won a national championship. Like, it is the formula to do it. It might not work, but this is the correct formula for a team to hit it big.
Yeah, I don't think – I'm with you. I think they're doing it the right way. My thing is sometimes when you – if you don't win early or if you don't kind of change the narrative, there's going to be a need to get him out there early, right? Like, well, if you're losing all these games, just get him out there. Just get him experience. And this is why I'm saying if you get a guy who can stabilize the offense and be confident at the line of scrimmage like a Flacco or Kirk Cousins, then you can tell this kid, all right, develop without being in a panic mode, right? Because I've seen it with the Jets, right? There was such a need at that position when you know, they would figure out they were going to start Zach Wilson, whatever. Man, they were just like, man, get him out there. And so
the hope is, though, that pro-style system, a little bit older player, that he should be more ready to play than a Zach Wilson or like a Mitch Trubisky who got rushed in also. So, but
Indiana had a squad. I think people underestimate how good that team was collectively.
Yeah, it was pro-style. We'll see how many pros they end up churning out. Time now for a little game of He Said, We Said, where we listen to the best sound across the world of sports and then give you our instant reaction. We will start first with the Hall of Famer Rod Woodson. He was on the Rich Eisen show, Willie, to give his thoughts on your Steelers and the waiting game they are playing for Aaron Rodgers. Take a listen.
Is he going to play? Listen, I get kind of tired of it. Like, listen, if he's going to play, say he's going to play, he's going to come back. He shouldn't, and the team shouldn't wait for Aaron Rodgers. They need to move forward.
Amen. but they have no choice. Like they've gone down this road.
Yep.
They've gotten into the metaphorical bed with Aaron Rodgers because they are not willing to hit the reset button and bottom out, even though bottoming out last time is what got them Ben Roethlisberger. You and I disagree on that. We do not need to rehash it.
Because so much had to happen for the Steelers to get Ben, and I think we never talk about that side of it.
I mean, they had to win 6 games.
No, I'm talking about in the draft process.
Oh, but okay. But I mean, the best path to getting a great quarterback is to having a high pick. Historically, it can get in other ways. I would just say there is no other option at this point for the Steelers. The pivots are Will Howard and Kirk Cousins. So, of course, you're going to wait for Aaron Rodgers.
But also, don't have any empathy for the Steelers. This is what they signed up for.
I don't.
And I also understand the Steelers' standpoint. Of course, they're going to leave the porch light on when you have a quarterback that won you the division, you landed in the playoffs, and you erased a ton of deficiencies on the offense that was broken. So, yeah, you keep the light on, and this is what you signed up for, and this is what it is. I mean, he's going to come back. You're not getting Pittman and Rico Dotto unless those guys understand that Aaron Rodgers will be in the lineup with him.
The only thing that I don't really understand at this point, and I guess it's Aaron Rodgers, so trying to figure it out, like I'm not wasting much brain power on it, to be honest, is like, I don't really believe him when he says the Steelers he doesn't have a contract offer in front of him. So why say it? Like, are you tweaking the team that you are going to ultimately play for? Are you hoping, were you hoping that Minnesota was going to offer you? That's done. It was Kyler. Like, what is the point in waiting at this point? That is what I don't really get. Before he joined them, okay, you can squint and see it. You're a Steeler or you're retired. Those are the options.
Yeah, but this is what Aaron Rodgers does this time of year. He holds the NFL hostage.
Okay.
And we all sit and wait. We have these conversations. And then before you know it, he's back out there.
I get it. At this point, there's really one option for you. Next up, though, Jonathan Allen on what enticed him to sign with the Bengals.
For me, I want to go somewhere that we have a chance to compete and where I feel like I can showcase my talents and help the team at the same time. And this is one of the few places where I felt like I could have my cake and eat it too. I mean, again, when you have a guy like Burrow, you always have a chance. You're never out of it. And, with the coaches we have here and the players that they already have in and they've been bringing in, I just felt like this was the perfect fit for me and my family.
So the idea of them being a contender is interesting.
It's wild.
So
please don't say that you think the Bengals are going to be contenders.
So I just turned to Vegas for it. They have the same win total, over under 9.5, as the Bears, Jaguars, Texans, and Broncos. All of those teams were playoff teams last year.
Right.
So you always talk about, hey, if you make the playoffs, you got a shot.
Yep.
All those teams are playoff teams. Now, their Super Bowl odds are the longest of those among those teams. Part of that, I think, is being in the AFC. Part of it is the AFC North. All of those things. But it's like, at this time of year, I like to cast a wide net for the term of contenders.
Okay.
Because it's the NFL. Weird things happen.
Yeah.
Once we get closer to the season, I'll start whittling it down. But like, if you're him, can you realistically sell yourself on that? Maybe we can have the best offense in football and the 20th best defense and squint, and that makes us a contender.
Yeah, listen, I think the Bengals are built to win a shootout. Nevertheless, if you're a Bengals fan, you just lost Trey Hendrickson.
Yes, you did.
And so, yeah, you got Boya Mafe, who, as Juice, Jonathan Allen is an inside presence, but there's so much. You just need more. To be frank about it. And if you're in a division right now with I think the Ravens, who knows what they're going to be, but I think the Steelers are going to be better. listen, at the end of the day, it comes down to Joe Burrow being healthy, right? Like if he's not healthy, he doesn't get through a season, you're not going to the playoffs. And so I'm glad he just signed the team. He's got to have that optimism, but I don't see it.
That was the other thing. I was thinking about, like, is it just a thing you say when you go to a new team?
I can you not? You know what I mean? You can't be new in the building and be like, well, this stinks. You know what I mean? So,
our defense has problems. Right. We're probably not going to win many games. You knew that when you signed the
contract.
Wait, but so basically any player who signs on any team can say, yeah, we came here to contend for a title. He just attached Joe Burrow's name to it, which I do think gives it some validity.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
let's get to the NBA here. I love talking hoops with you, Willie. Kevin Durant, tough game last night against the Lakers, and he put a lot on his own shoulders after the game. Take a listen.
I missed 2 wide open threes when we were up. At one point, I could have pushed us up 4. I just feel like I lost the game for us tonight. That simple. I mean, my teammates could. I mean, of course, we probably can make more threes, but it's on me. I mean, to be honest, I'm the offense, and the opposing team is going to use all their resources and not let me get comfortable.
So I love Durant. He's a hooper. He's honest to a fault. He did have a really bad game last night, but whatever, bad games happen even for the best.
Sure.
If post Golden State, if it's the Nets where his toe's on the line or else they beat Giannis and then Giannis goes on and wins, like a failure, I guess, because they didn't win, but they at least had that moment in that run. Phoenix, unmitigated disaster, but I will maintain, not his fault.
Right.
Like
they sold out for him.
Yeah, and just a really flawed team.
Correct.
With Beal, Booker, and Durant and their redundancies. Like that was just a bad plan from Jump Street, and Durant played well. If this one fails, they're the 4th seed in the West. They should complement each other well. He was supposed to solve their half-court scoring issue. They have young talent. They have Şengün. This will be the one that's the toughest to explain of the post-Golden State failures, because the Nets thing, it was like your foot was on the line.
Right.
It happens.
And
you lost.
Him and James and Kyrie never really played a lot together.
Yeah,
so
but and you lost to Giannis, who won a title. Like okay. The Suns thing, anyone could have seen that coming. If this fails, I will be like over this year, next year. I'll be very surprised. I thought that he was the perfect addition for them.
Well, I understand him being a leader, stepping up like this is on me. They didn't have Şengün. I mean, he had 7 turnovers. The team had 24 turnovers. But collectively, he realized in the second half, they started trapping him, really putting him in and bracketing him. He felt like, man, that kind of neutralized him, which set the blueprint on how you're going to play the Rockets moving forward. So he goes, if that's going to be the outcome, I got to be better because I've been through this and I know how this works out. So I respect it. I understand why he took it on his shoulders.
Well, he also, he does that always, man. Like he likes to hoop. He doesn't really, he'll get online, he'll spar with people.
I love KD online, by the way.
He will invite,
he's an assassin.
He will invite some criticism. But yeah, without Şengün, he's got to think, I am the offense. But that team, there's something missing even with Şengün. And I don't, like, Shepard and Thompson and Smith.
Well, it goes back to what you said.
They should be better.
When you KD, you're the closer, right? Well, with 5 minutes left in the game, the ball goes through you, and when you don't show up, you only have 2 points in the second half. You're like, that can't be it, right? And so at this time of year, this is about positioning and momentum. And they needed this one.
Yeah, well, the Van Vliet injury is obviously a huge problem for them, and I don't know where they're going to go to get better in the offseason if they're one and done in the playoffs. We got a World Baseball Classic final tonight. You can, of course, check it out on Fox. The USA is a heavy favorite. We'll see if we're doing any guarantees coming up on the OT.
You may have the best 2 players in the game, definitely the best 2 right fielders in the game, and Aaron Judge and Ronald Acuna Jr., and they both hit in the first inning. So if you're at home watching, do not miss that first inning because you may miss some fireworks. I do think that, to answer your question more specifically, Chris, the winner of the first 6 innings, I believe, wins the game.
I thought A-Rod was absolutely fantastic earlier today with the guys. When he gets real granular talking baseball, it's must watch. We got 2 powerhouses, Willie, tonight. Basically, A-Rod's analysis there was, you got to win the first 6 innings because no one's getting anything off of the bullpens late. We know Venezuela's bullpen's stacked and the entire Team USA roster is stacked. They're about a 3-1 favorite, Team USA, which makes me nervous for it being a baseball game because anybody can win a baseball game. You willing to guarantee a win? How you feeling?
I feel, listen, what's weird about Team USA, I think they started off villains. Now they have a chance to end as a hero, right, with everything that started off. But I think right now, momentum's on Team USA side. I just feel like they had a significant win against DR. No matter how you felt about it, what you felt about the last 2 innings, but I think the way they played and they responded, I said it to you yesterday, the Dominican Republic were averaging 10 runs a game. They held them down to 1 run, right? And they now you go into this game against Venezuela, you feel like, man, there's nothing we can't do.
I will just say, the joke, I just hope both teams have fun. Honestly, because, root for Team USA, I understand. It's great. It's a loaded roster. But to hear A-Rod talk about it and to watch, it is so clear how this is like a World Cup Olympic level event for the Latin American countries. This would be a great, very cool story if Venezuela won it also. So it should just be an amazing sporting event. Check it out tonight on Fox. We'll talk about it tomorrow on the OT.